All right, all right. Yeah, I'm already late. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Thank you. Hello. Yep, I know. Thank you. I know. I know. Sorry, guys. Just didn't wake up with my alarm. Your lucky vermin woke me up. You look spiffy, though. Thanks. I found a polo shirt that I don't hate. Cats are zooming around. Oh shit, where'd you buy that shirt? Uh Nordstrom's? Maybe? Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, the shirt store. I just heard Ruben sneeze twice. Quit sneezing. Silly boy. Goofy boy. Your opinion on the Minecraft mob vote probably being rigged and botted? Yeah, you think Mojang just like skewed the votes behind the scenes to do the one that would make the most people angry? Quit sneezing. What are you sneezing for? He's sneezing because he's allergic to how cute he is. What a good little baby. Man, isn't it like did I Tempest, did I never upload the stream from last night? I see a video file here on my desktop. Did I never upload that? Huh. You did? No, you wouldn't know. Why are you answering? You don't know. Excuse me. Segment from that VOD is up. That doesn't mean I uploaded it. Sometimes they pull from, sometimes they just manually download the VOD from YouTube if I forget to put it up. I don't see it. Fuck, I forgot to put it up. God damn it. Okay. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, really quickly before we do actual politics, man. Holy shit, 196 fell off so fucking hard. Oh my god. I was just sitting here with a bit of extra time before stream started, and I was browsing 196, which used to be funny, and it's just the worst now. Holy shit, what happened? Did they like ban all the funny posters there? It fell off so quickly. Yeah, it's all just like zero IQ horny posting now. Like there used to be some sense of like comedy about, but now it's lit like just like any other like lowest common denominator t. Like pretty soon they're gonna start having those like green text incest posts about 19-year-old trans girls who want to fuck their brothers or something. Like it's literally just yeah, shitty Dark Souls went the same direction. Could it be trans women are actually just terrible for subreddits? Is it possible? I bet you a lot of the tankies that control lefty subreddits are also trans women. Curious. What are you mowing about? What are you going to be loud all stream? Oh, Ruben, if you're going to be loud, then let me at least get some donos off of you. Come here. Oh, we climbing. Yeah, can I help you? Love him. What? Big sneeze? Okay. We sneezing big. And he zooms. Maybe he got some dust in his nose. 196's response to your comments. Yeah. Sex joke, haha. Sex joke trans. I hate Reddit trans from culture. Shut the fuck up. You're not funny. Not gonna lie. Where's the funny? Dude, if cishet people were making jokes on the level of 196 right now, it wouldn't even be Reddit tier. We're talking like Facebook boomer tier. The degree of sex comedy that they're engaging in right now, if it were cishets, would be like beneath the worst fucking abattoir of... Yeah, it would be like iFunny jokes. Literally, it's like it would be like iFunny jokes. I can't tell you how many times I've... Okay, flat out, I am proclaiming a ban on this specific joke, all right? If you are making a joke, and the joke is somebody's parent says, my son turned out okay, and your response is, your trans daughter is actually very horny and a submissive, you need to stop. Just, holy, I've seen it like 5 million times. Get a new joke. You're unironically going to turn into like the fucking gender pronouns joke. 2 genders. Like, you're, holy shit. Invent new jokes. It's true gay trans bottoms are not funny or coy when they're horny. Yeah, being horny makes you less funny. Sex jokes are only funny if you make them when you're not horny. Otherwise, you get halfway into making the joke, and then you just start writing erotic fanfiction. Like, this happens all the time, okay? The only way to make sex jokes is with a wry, detached, comedic vibe, okay? You can't be, like, frothing at the mouth when you make them. You're welcome, Hamfin. Welcome back. Being horny is a detriment to literally all productivity except for fucking. That's the only thing. If you're horny, it gets in the way of everything else, okay? Okay, tell us a joke then. E. There we go, the height of comedy. You can tell it was good because I'm not horny. Okay, moving on. I really wish I could do a bass boost. Bass boosting is like a shortcut to a good laugh. If I had like a filter that bass boosted what I have to say, like upped the gain but brought down the mic vocal limit so that it wouldn't like blow people's eardrums out. I need that. Yeah, reverb, gain. Good old loud equals funny. You know who the king of loud equals funny is, IMO? It's Martin Sino Pants. I think the YouTuber's name is. That guy is like the IQ normal distribution, where the low IQ is loud equals funny, and then like the normal IQ is, dude, loud doesn't equal funny. And then the high IQ is actually loud does equal funny, and it's his like rainbow frog head. You're not get a soundboard? No, I'm not getting a soundboard. The chemical segment in the city skyline video? Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. Do you think it'd be copyright if I looked at that? He wouldn't copyright strike videos. That'd be gay as hell. No way he would. No shot.
Perhaps like this chemical plant building thing, which looks really cool, and what a drink, whatever funny liquid it produces.
I feel like a fucking retard laughing at this. It's just so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. The production value is very good. Love this guy's Kerbal Space Program videos. Yeah, I found out that he streams, then I checked his Twitch, and he hasn't streamed in like ages, which really sucks. He forgot Metal Pipe Falling MP3. The Metal Pipe Fall... So the problem with that is that Metal Pipe Falling MP3 was funny the first 2 times I heard it, and then it wasn't. But that's the problem with all memes, right? They get, like, done into the dirt. most of comedy is about being subversive. Like comedy is about defying expectations. So when memes get run into the ground, there's nothing less funny. They become like aggressively unfunny. Um, you always have to keep like your own drive going, you know? The pipe thing is best when it's unexpected. Yeah, defying expectations. I mean, I think the key to using memes in a way that isn't cringy, especially for like longevity's sake, is that the whole point of memes is that they're mimetic. Like the joke doesn't exist in a vacuum. It can be contextualized and modified based on like this iterative process of people changing it little by little as they like add their own things to it. And one of the best ways to keep stuff fresh is don't just repeat or reference a meme, but take the meme and do it in your way. And that way, when people look back at the jokes that you've made in your YouTube video or whatever, it's not just you did the meme, it's you did the meme. Does that make sense? There's a huge difference between like just repeating it, you know? Because the worst YouTubers are the ones where, like MatPat does this all the time, where the joke will be in a video of his that there will be a popular meme and he'll just reference it. Like, haha, see, this is what's funny right now. And that shit ages out so quickly. It ages out before the video even fucking releases, you know? Rather than cleverly sort of implicating it, yeah. This is one of the reasons why I hate OKBV, because they just repeat the same fucking movies. Or memes. Can't believe Vosh is giving us a lesson on comedy. I mean, I'd like to think I'm funny. Oh yeah, speaking of. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't concentrate on anything right now. I can't concentrate on anything right now. Go subscribe to Martin Cedo Pants clips or whatever. Did you see the news about the first ATA CMS landing in occupied Ukraine? Didn't these get attacked or something? CMS. Did these or did these not? Oh, yeah, the reason these are special is because these are big missiles. Russia was bitching about these because they're big, and they have the ability to strike, like, Russian territory. Skip the TYT Vivek debate. The full link is down, and it's too wild not to cover in full. I'll take a look, Benjamin. I know, Ezra. Russia successfully intercepted them using their runways and helicopters. Really? Wait, isn't the whole point of these things that they're supposed to be, like, away from the front lines? Is chat, like, lagging or something? Voshlo, that's the point. The runways and helicopters are now on fire. Oh. I get it. Vosh, a video on it? More content stealing?
Hello, everyone.
What the fuck is this? Who is this YouTuber? What? I'm not watching a video that opens with a fucking, what is this, Telegram? What? No, get this out of here. Jesus. You know how much misinformation there is out there right now? Christ, like everyone is swimming in it. I'm used to fucking news articles or nothing. I thought that was Sean at first. Nah. No, this is a based Finnish guy. I don't recognize Finland or its people. ATA, CMS, Ukraine. So yeah, the special thing about these is that these missiles are big. Let me see. Okay, a person emailed me with a top secret trick on how to get rid of the ad blocker on articles. 1 second. I'm going to see if I can get it to work. Okay, 1 second. Because the 12-foot IO thing does not always work. People are like, oh, dude, 12-foot.io. It doesn't always work. Internet Archive is more reliable in a lot of cases. Okay, it looks like this strategy isn't going to work here either. Whatever. Ukraine fires ATACMS missiles at Russian forces for the first time. U.S. missiles were secretly deployed to Ukraine in recent days. Neat. And then the ad blocker comes in. Proletarian ally Fox News without the ad blocker. What's up? What's up? Here's the leftover debris from the ATA-MS. This link doesn't work. Make sure your links work before sending this to me, or I'll get mad and ban you. They're cluster munitions. Neat. We love our cluster munitions. While some versions of the missile can go as far as 180 miles, the ones sent to Ukraine have a shorter range and carry cluster munitions, which when fired open in the air, releasing hundreds of bomblets rather than a single warhead. Cool, cool. Here's what you were referencing. Ukraine Special Operation Forces claimed that a nighttime attack on targets in eastern southern Ukraine destroyed 9 Russian helicopters and other military equipment and personnel at 2 airfields in Russia-occupied regions. That's big. That's very big. Big. Very big. Yeah, the whole, like, a lot of this is a range issue, basically. So the main thing that's like defined the line of engagement between Russia and Ukraine is like the range of engagement, right? Russian artillery, because Russia has a very artillery heavy military doctrine because they have a fuck ton of like Cold War era shells to fire, you know? It's like free to them. So for them, their range of engagement is the range of their artillery. And artillery fires a decent distance, but not like hundreds of miles, you know? There are limits. So Russia does have access to missiles, but there's a problem with missiles. What's the problem with missiles, guys? Come on, tell me. Let me know. What's the problem with missiles? Come on, tell me. Tell me. Money. Missiles are very expensive. Very, very expensive. So Russia does have missiles. It's not like they lack them completely. But they can't pepper the entire landscape with missiles the way they can with artillery fire, which is their like primary strategy. So the ability for Ukraine to fire missiles from beyond the range of their artillery salvos allows Ukraine much more freedom in targeting airfields and munition depots, you know? Rather than needing to send drones over, which isn't always reliable, it's not always possible, and they can only carry so many munitions, or having to like fire super gigantic expensive missiles that they don't have. They can just, you know, the whole point is that it's mobile as well. If Ukraine is going to be stopped here, you know, Russia would need to target the missile systems, but the missile systems move. Unlike a stationary missile platform, you know, these things can just pack up and leave, which means that Russian missile counterattacks are usually going to just hit, like, you know, dirt by the time they find out where they're being shot at from. So that's cool, you know. The use of cluster munitions obviously is problematic in the long term, but they're also striking occupied territory that's pretty much, at least in this case, devoid of civilians. A occupied air base is not going to have like a bunch of Ukrainian civilians there. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Alleged footage of ATACMS launches in Ukraine towards Russian positions. Sure, let's get a little military gonzo porn.
Увага, виконати пуск, виконати пуск. Виконуй пуск.
I can't see. I can see now. Big. Humongous. Now, this shores up a really powerful, or this compensates for a significant weakness in Ukraine's operational capacity, which is the big thing that Ukraine has wanted for a long time is F-16s. They want planes. And the reason they want planes is because the cool thing that planes can do is they can fly like a mile in the air at Mach 3, and then you blink, and then your equipment gets destroyed in like a gigantic salvo of bombs. Planes are really good at bombing things and moving very quickly, which is great if you want to take out, you know, airstrips and artillery emplacements and munition depots beyond the line of conflict. The problem with planes is that they're really, 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 really expensive, and you need to train people very well to fly them. So planes are difficult, you know? The United States has also been really reluctant to give Ukraine planes because one thing that you can do with planes is fly them into Russia, and doing that would be interpreted as a significant escalation in conflict. Again, I know Russia says literally everything is an escalation in conflict, but flying planes into Russia would be an escalation in conflict, even by my standards. That doesn't mean Russia doesn't deserve to have planes flown overhead. They do, but again, life's not fair. Aren't HIMARS the same thing as the ATACMs? No, HIMARS are more like, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but HIMARS are more like extremely precisely targeted artillery, whereas the ATACMs are like proper targeted missiles, and much larger too. Oh, the HIMARS launches them. Oh, I'm completely incorrect. Isn't this a new type of ammunition, or is this literally just more ammo for the HIMARS? I thought the HIMARS was firing different ammunition before. ATACMs are a different ammunition. Okay, my mistake. Yeah, the HIMARS can be outfitted for different types of ammunition. So this is like a larger. So wait, let me check really quick. What did the HIMARS have before? My impression was before the HIMARS had like they were missiles, but they operated more like, you know, sort of very effectively targeted artillery, and this is like practically a cruise missile. Am I incorrect in that? ATACMS, not ATACMS. ATACMS? That sounds like a cute nickname. Yeah. One ATACMS missile takes the place of a full load. Ah, okay. Oh, wow. So this is okay, that explains it. So this is an ATACMS missile being fired. That's the entire that's the entire like carrying capacity of the truck. Whereas this, I think, is a better representation of what they were armed with before, where you had 6 of them in the carrier, and these had much lower range, less explosive power. But now it's like, yeah, we now have the big missile. Am I correct in that? Okay, good. Here you can take a look at the 2 HIMARS. The M142 HIMARS, which has the GMLRS rocket, which is what they were using before, I'm pretty sure. And this is the MGM-140 ATACMS, a tactical ballistic missile, a range of up to 190 miles. Woo! Can be fired from the MLRS or the HIMARS. Contains only 1 missile. Woohoo! The identical pattern makes it more challenging for enemy intel to single it out as a high-value target. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Whereas the range of the GMLRS is a maximum range of 43 miles. That is a huge increase. The HIMARS were a big deal before, but they fired only 43 miles, which is still beyond the range of artillery, but 43 miles away and 170 miles away are 2 different distances. Sorry, 190 miles away. Those are 2 different numbers, as I understand it. One is larger. Yes, this concludes your briefing on military tactics, okay? 1 is larger. ATACMS won't change anything, no point in supplying them. Ukraine gets variation of ATACMS. First strike, highest single-day loss in Russian Air Force history. Ha! Ukraine isn't stupid. They're not going to use this against civilian infrastructure. Russia. There's no reason to. Again, the whole point of giving them super long-range munitions like this is now they have the ability to effectively target air bases, artillery positions, and munition depots. Mostly the first and last one, I'm guessing. Artillery can still be packed up and moved, but striking an air base is massive. Air bases are pretty much the most vulnerable military infrastructure that you have to build while conducting a ground invasion, because air bases, their runways stop working if any damage happens to them. A plane cannot take off from a runway if it's even a little bit fucked. Like seriously, it just instantly stops. the taking off of planes. Of course, helicopters can still take off, but they got those with the cluster munitions as well. So, you know, we did give them cluster munitions. Yeah, apparently they used it to take out a runway. Yeah, but it's extremely easy to restore a runway. Yeah, but like it's still it's a huge imposition, massive imposition. Major difference is the ATACMS are GPS guided. They look like dinky missiles, and by the time you single it out, it's too close to intercept. I don't even know what kind of interception capabilities Russia has. I mean, they're not even on their own territory. That'd be pretty tough for them to manage. Certainly not reliable. HIMARS is super modular. Well, modularity is incredibly important for for developing military equipment. It's very, very important. If repairing runways is so easy, why is Israel bombing Damascus and Aleppo airports basically daily? Well, because they hate life, basically. Anyway, yeah, it's very possible that the introduction of the ATACMS is going to massively change the nature of this conflict. 1 second. Live UA map Ukraine. Hold on. I guess Ukraine was unnecessary there. We should be able to see where the airstrike was. Was it here? M74 submission reported at Bears Airfield. No. Where was the airport strike? It would have been behind the front lines, right? It was that? Oh, it was that. I was right in the first guess. How lucky. Excuse me. Yeah, there it is. Images of parts of the MGM-140A ATACMS Block 1 missile that reportedly hit Berdyansk airfield overnight. God damn, look at how big these things are. Excuse me. Sheesh. So they used cluster munitions, which means that this big casing would have just, like, broken apart and let all the bomblets out. So because it's cluster munitions, there would be a mostly undamaged, like, big sheath around the whole thing that gets preserved. This thing is like car sized. I mean, not really car sized, but it's pretty big. Somebody said in Crimea. Have they struck Crimea already? Those missiles are from 1996 to 1997. They are older than half of chat. I have said this before. People really don't realize that the highly advanced, super technically advanced, like, equipment we've given Ukraine are 30 years old. Like, the modern shit the U.S. military has, where the next on-the-ground conflict we're getting involved in, we're going to have fucking plasma weapons, you know? Like, the super advanced shit we're giving out is really, really old to us. Wait, hold on. Where is the ruler? Can I get a ruler? Turn on polyline measure. There we go. So, from this airbase, no, from roughly around this airbase, range of, what was it, 190 miles? But that might be for the longest range variant of the thing. I think it'd probably be better to estimate like half that. It means that if this is the line of conflict right here, it basically means that every part of, how do I get rid of it? Stop. No more. Clear map. Fuck. It basically means that every part of occupied Donbass and most of Crimea can be targeted with these missiles, even if they're using the lower range cluster munitions. Like, seriously, even the historically occupied part of the Donbass right here, right out here is to 90 miles. The full range of 190 miles is out to here. Pretty wild. I wonder if this means they just plain don't need planes anymore. You know? I mean, sure, they'd still like them, but this kind of shores up the major... Why does America have more advanced military tech than everywhere else? Google American discretionary military budget, and you'll find out why. Pretty incredible. I don't want to, like, overstate how good this is, because I don't want to pretend that I know more than I do. I'm, like, learning about this right now. But my understanding is that the biggest weakness of the Ukrainian military has been their inability to hit targets beyond, like, basic artillery range. That's why HIMARS was such a big deal, because it meant that you could now strike like past the range of Russian artillery, deeper into their territory. But this is an even bigger deal, because now they can strike basically anything in occupied Ukraine. And as a product of that, I guess this might have the potential to do incredible good. Like, this might be an actual game changer for the conflict, you know? Huh. Do you think they're going to hit the bridge again? They're going like one more time just for good measure, but this time with like the biggest missile they can get. Hold on. Ah, it's just barely within range. Yeah, drive it right up here to the border. Triple tap it. Get it. Cluster won't break the bridge. Yeah, that's why we need the big bomb. The big reason it took so long to give them ATACMS is that the US was afraid of them using it to hit the Moscow area. I genuinely think the United States is really fucked up in providing Ukraine aid by drawing it out over so long and like hemming and hawing so much over Zelensky like attacking Moscow. I don't think anything Zelensky has done has given the indication that he would attack fucking Moscow. Like, considering the extent of the invasion into Ukraine, Zelensky's rhetoric has been pretty restrained. Like, he could have been doing this full-on, like, blood for blood shit, you know, but he hasn't been, really. He's been pretty moderate and reasonable, and Zelensky knows that the nanosecond his troops cross into Russia, he loses the support of the Western world. Because the United States might be willing to give its equipment for use here. The United States will not let its equipment be used here. So no, the U.S. only has 1,600 ATACMS. Yeah, but we've been using that excuse for ages. Like the whole, we don't want Zelensky to invade Russia thing. I don't think he's going to. Does the map indicate Russia has been pushed back, or are the red areas not what I think they are? The gray areas are parts that Russia used to control but hasn't. For a long time now, Russia has been pushed away from the north. The conflict has been on the east and the south. Ukraine has been making incredibly slow gains down here, but the front has stalled for a while. It seems like the counteroffensive has been more difficult than initially hoped or anticipated, which makes sense. War isn't easy. Hopefully this will make a meaningful difference. Hi, Beetle. That's because Russians had time to build up massive defensive lines? Yeah. You remember Kursk, don't you? Whew. Side-by-side pictures of the same part of the same class of ship. One is owned by China, the other is owned by Russia. Is this like a non-credible defense post? Why is there a meme in the middle of this? Oh, I see. They're just covering a face. Holy shit, is this really? Oh no, is this real? I don't know enough about anything to verify this, but it would be very funny if this was real. That these are basically the same ship's internals, and this is what a Chinese internal looks like. And this is the Russian. That's Russia's aircraft carrier? That's grim. Same type, not the same model. I don't think there's any excuse for having your interior look like this. Isn't Russia's goal right now to hunker down and prolong the conflict long enough for the U.S. to lose interest and stop providing aid? Yeah, like mutual bleeding out is pretty much Russia's main goal here. However, I guess, you know, if these new missiles, if these ATACMS do their job, it's possible that Russia might lose the logistical and you know, sort of vehicular support necessary for them to maintain this, you know? A big thing is line of like logistics, right? Because no matter no matter how many troops and fortifications you have down here, all of these guys need food, fuel, ammunition, and the like, right? So if you keep destroying munitions depots, if you keep destroying airports, you know, if you keep destroying roads and bridges and ways of getting them what they need, if you keep destroying depots, eventually, like, you can have 1 million soldiers down here in occupied Ukraine, and it wouldn't make a difference. Like, they'll have to run or they'll starve. So, you know, lots of suffering. Lots of suffering. Guys, I love you guys, but please stop with the link spam. You guys are doing it all the time now. You're doing it during other segments. Like, why? Why would you think, like, I'm mid talking about one thing, but then I want you to, like, link another? It's distracting. Don't do that, unironically. That's all I've been doing, Beetle Moses. Yeah. Seems like you ended the convo. I don't like it when I end a thing, and then instead of talking about the segment that we just did, it's just a bunch of people linking to get me on the next segment. Like, come on. Think about how I feel. Come on. Nah. Can we send attackums to Fatah? We can send attackums to Hamas and secure freedom for the Palestinian people, of course. That's the next big step for of anti-imperialism from Biden. 5D chess. All right. Yeah, this is actually a big deal, and it's actually one of the cleanest examples I've ever seen of what I'm going to euphemistically refer to as direct action actually working. So Shinzo Abe, the conservative Japanese prime minister, was assassinated last year with an electrically fired homemade shotgun, uh, and everyone in Japan seems fine with it. Like, I've talked about this before, but for some weird reason, like for genuinely complicated reasons that I don't fully understand, rather than this like long time political leader, this like legend in Japanese politics being like eulogized and memorialized, beloved to the entire country, it seems like all of Japan just like shrugged and were like, yeah, it's very odd. I don't really get it. Um Shinzo Abe was a conservative, but he was also a cultist. He had heavy ties to the Japanese Unification Church, which is basically the Japanese Illuminati. Like, kind of not kidding. Japan Unification Church. Shinzo Abe stocked his cabinet and his government broadly with members of the Unification Church and people who were heavily aligned with it. It's basically like a Christian conservative cult religion that seemed to be heavily connected to people in power. There are like whole video essays dissecting the Unification Church. It's very complicated. It's very weird. um After the Second World War ended, it had a presence in approximately 100 countries. Its leaders are Moon, prior to his death, and his wife Hak Jahan, who their followers honor with the title True Parents. Moon considered himself the second coming of Christ, because of course he did, claiming to complete the mission Jesus Christ wasn't able to because of his crucifixion, that of beginning a new ideal family, and a larger human lineage free from sin. The Unification Church is well known for its mass weddings, known as blessing ceremonies. It has been criticized for its teachings and for its social and political influence, what critics call a dangerous cult, a political powerhouse, and a business empire. Its involvement in politics includes anti-communism. That's the main thing, by the way. The Moonies did a bunch of blind mass weddings, like blinding people. Interesting. Yeah, they were founded primarily, like politically, as an anti-communist political group. And support for Korean reunification. Its members have founded, owned, and supported related orgs in business, education, politics. These people are like the Illuminati. They are like so powerful, their associations. No, like they didn't meet until the wedding. Oh, by blind, I thought it would mean like a ceremony where people are literally like blindfolded as part of the, I don't know, true love is blind or what, I don't fucking know. Okay, so literally just like meet a person the same day, marry them. I don't know. What are mass weddings? I guess it's like you get 50 guys and 50 girls, and you just put them in a room, and it's like, here's who you're married. Okay, that's cool. Hmm. In 2021, Donald Trump and Shinzo Abe gave speeches at the Rally of Hope event hosted by an affiliate of the Unification Church. My impression is that like a huge amount of Japanese politics has just been the Unification Church. Like there's the church, and then there's all of their affiliates and subsidiaries, and there's 1,000 organizations that are connected to them, and like every politician and business owner is like connected to them, and they all fucking are crazy associated or whatever, and like it's all around the world too, you know. That's pretty weird. 5 ministers of the cabinet of Japan have relationships with the Unification Church, including the Minister of Health, Labor, and Welfare, and the head of Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. That's pretty weird. Vosh, can you start a cult? I'll consider it. Yeah, so that's odd. Anyway, after the assassination of Shinzo Abe, Japanese courts started to look into the Unification Church, and it looks like they're going to be dissolving it, which is interesting. Like, how often does that happen? 21 surreal photos from a Mooney mass wedding. Uh-huh. This is what Shinzo Abe meant when he was telling people to breed. Of the followers married on Sunday, 400 were officially paired mere days before the ceremony. Those who are chosen to be matched under the church must confirm under oath that they are virgins, and after their wedding, the couple must refrain from sexual relations for a minimum of 40 days. Never mind, they're not even breeding. The church's preference for cross-cultural pairs means newlyweds will often share no common language. That's interesting. Language isn't such an issue, one bride said. We're connected by the church. We struggle a little to communicate right now, an American groom agreed. What are you doing here, man? Referring to his Japanese bride. We see it as an exciting challenge and proof of our faith. Dude, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing out here? Where'd you... Bro! An additional 12,000 couples around the world participated in the ceremony via a live internet feed. Okay. Well, this all seems pretty weird. Man, there was something so surreal about seeing Americans there. Like, I guess in my mind, I'd kind of sectioned this off as like a weird East Asian cult. So then I see like a black dude there, and it's like, what series of events led you to be here? Wild. This is just Scientology, but more successful. Yeah. How publicly known was the cult in Japan? Were they like as open as Christians are in the US? My understanding is that it was like kind of an open secret, but the full extent of how much corruption there was under the Unification Church has been uncovered increasingly following Shinzo Abe's assassination. Yeah. Okay, I watched a video about this. The investigation follows claims by the suspected shooter, Tetsuya Yamagami. That's the guy who shot Shinzo Abe. The reason he shot Shinzo Abe was because his mother had been brainwashed into donating all their family's money to the church, bankrupting the family and keeping them from being able to pay medical bills. Government's investigation concluded the group's practices violated the 1951 Religious Corporations Act, clearly found to harm public welfare substantially. Huh. The Unification Church in Japan has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, pledging reform and labeling the news coverage against it as biased and fake. On Thursday, it issued a statement saying it was very regrettable the government was seeking the dissolution order, particularly as it had been, quote, working on reforming the church, end quote, since 2009. Taking a bit long, huh? Huh. Since last November, Japan's Ministry of Cultural Affairs had questioned and sought to obtain documents from the Unification Church while also collecting testimonies from around 170 people who say they were pressured into making massive donations known in Japan as spiritual sales. The practice involves asking followers to buy objects like urns and amulets on the grounds that doing so will appease their ancestors and save future generations. Man, I hate religion. Man, I hate religion. Oh my god, I hate religion so much. It's crazy how much of a Reddit atheist I am. Holy shit. Absolutely wild. Why does Japan have so many weird slash dangerous cults? Two nukes and then U.S. occupation. We fucked them up. Sorry. Then again, you guys did believe in your god emperor before that, so maybe it's just something in the water over there. Japanese person here, nobody gave a shit about him getting killed. He was never popular as an individual. He has zero charisma, and his career has been covered by scandals with his stuff with war crimes and scandals and Yakuza connections, etc., etc. Even during the peak of his political power, he was never really actually well liked as an individual. Japan hates cults. The Japanese public was 10 times more outraged about the scandal than the cult about Abe dying. Okay, if you guys have so much of a fucking civil society over there, have you considered having it like an actual democracy? What the fuck? The diet has been like conservative for 50 million years. Have you considered electing good politicians instead of bad politicians? How about that? Here's a suggestion from a fucking Baka Gaijin. Have you considered doing good things? Get a democracy. Yeah, since 1957, it's been the liberal Democratic Party for like 96% of the time. Yeah, and they're conservatives and freaks like Abe. The city of Nara originally planned a memorial for Abe, but had to scrap it for an unmarked flower bed that was part of a broader beautification project because residents didn't want to be reminded of the shooting. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Most powerful prime minister in your post-imperial history gets a flower bed that was going to happen anyway. Oh my god. Yeah, now dogs can piss in it. Great. At Vosh, we elected socialists in 1948 in the first post-war election, but America pushed them out of power and brought back the LDP with all the imperial wartime politicians. Japan has the biggest non-ruling communist party in the world. Ah, well, if you didn't want America to push out your communist party, have you considered maybe winning World War II so that you could... Wait. So, sorry. Well, you know, if it's two choices, it's Imperial Japan or America occupied conservative Japan. uh, do not win that war. Is the shooter still alive? Yeah, he's still alive. All right, that's enough. Oh, did you show chat my IG reel? I don't know what an IG reel is, Roman. You can post in chat and I can show it. But let me get another tissue because I'm fucking sniffly today. Huh? What the fuck, Jack Hayworth? I don't know, you're a hero. Yes, Catnip Master Race. This Lamau, also this one has my foxes in it. Yeah, guys, did you know that Vermin, who's in chat right now, if you can believe such a thing, hosted a taxidermy table at the Seattle Oddities Museum showing? Take a look at this. Wait, can I get the video playing from the beginning again? How does Instagram work? How do I make the Instagram full screen? Do I hit F? No. How do I do it? Where's the button? No, seriously, where's the button? No, seriously, where's the button? Instagram on desktop is a mess. This is embarrassing. This is one of the biggest social media sites in the world. How difficult is it? Refresh? But that doesn't full screen. Well, it's a tiny video. But look at the table. Too small? Yeah, I can't do anything about it. Okay, I'm zooming. There. That's as big as I can get it before the fucking thing destroys. Sound? You full screen, and now you want sound? What do you people want from me? Shut up! God! Jesus! Anyway, Vermin did really, really well on the convention floor. Sold lots of stuff. It was the first time they did a convention, and it was really good. If you guys are into weird oddity stuff like that, then you should go follow Mala Suerte Taxidermy. I'm going to post it in chat. I'm shilling. I'm shilling. Go check it out. Go look. Check it out. Look at all this stuff. I don't know how this works. Look, there's also cat videos. See, look, the posts. And then if I click on Reels, oh my god, who's that? Because Artemy's always trying to eat the taxidermy. He loves eating the taxidermy. See? Show what I sent you in Discord. What's complicated? What's blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, look at all the stuff they sold. Here's the table at the beginning with Fortuna there. Hello, Fortuna. Isn't that a cute table? Everyone else's table was black with like a black tablecloth and black theming. And this is at the end because they sold everything. Ain't that cute? Yeah, they sold Fortuna. Goodbye, Fortuna. We got $4.23. Good deal. Not to get paradoxical, but are you and Vermin roommates or something? Yes, we have been for the entire duration of me streaming. That shirt is so cool, I'm going to shit myself. Thank you. Hey, I'm the weirdo who approached you at the Oddities convention. Malice, you'd have to specify which one. Nonetheless, it was nice to see you. This one is your fan. Oh, this is the Instagram of the girlfriend of the person who said hi to me, or of the person who said hi. Yeah, lots of cool stuff there. Look, they did like little taxidermy terrariums. See, there's a skull here. Wow. Wait, this has 65,000 likes? What the fuck? This person's way more popular than you are, Vermin. Vermin, you need a shout out. No, don't shout them out. Have them shout you out. They're popular, yeah? Make them shill for you. Give you money. Money, money, money. It's an oddities convention. Are normal people allowed? No joke. A solid 1/3 of the people at the oddities convention were some variant of alternative goth girl. Not kidding. Actually a fuck ton of baddies present at the convention. Seattle is a good city for that sort of thing. All right, moving on. Did you know that we have politics to talk about? We are going to talk about the bombing. But before we do that, just a second. Folks, the voting begins. The attempt to make gymnasium rapist Jordan the House Speaker. How's it going so far? Not good. Not good at all for the Republicans. I mean, here we go. Average House Speaker vote under a Republican majority. 200 votes for Jim Jordan, 212 for Hakeem Jeffries, and 20 for other. Aren't they all rapers? Yes, they're all rapers over there in the GOP, but not all of them as evidently so. Yeah. How much do they need again? What is it? 216? I forget. What's the crossover? I forget. Because they're missing 217. Yeah, because they're missing. There are 2 people missing at the moment. Yeah. So 217. Anyway, let's take a look. Stephen Scalise, not able to get the support that he needed. Jim Jordan has been fully endorsed by Donald Trump. Jim Jordan is not somebody who we want as House Speaker. He is very bad. So let's see how it's going.
Rise today, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp, Madam Clerk, colleagues. On behalf of the House Republican Conference, I rise today to nominate the gentleman from Ohio, Jim Jordan, as Speaker of the People's House.
Is he worse than McCarthy? Yes, significantly. Ooh.
We are at a time of great crisis across America, a time of historic challenges in this very chamber, and a time when heinous acts of terror and evil have been committed against our great ally, Israel.
I was listening to Pod Save America and their libs. Why are you listening to Pod Save America? They were just calling Jordan a Nazi. I am fully in favor of liberals hyperbolically calling the GOP Nazis. Honestly, Jim Jordan is really bad. So like fucking whatever, you know? Jim Jordan is really bad. He's the, listen, okay? He's a Nazi of raping college students in gymnasium locker rooms, right? He's the Nazis of blitzkrieging something sexual predator. Sexual predator Jim Jordan. Gymnasium Jordan rapist Jim Jordan.
This body convenes for the sacred responsibility to elect
every one of my brain cells firing on all cylinders.
I am reminded of the Book of Esther. For such a time.
Yeah, the Hitler of rape. Truly.
Is this. Jim Jordan will be America's Speaker for such a time as this.
Great.
Chair, conservative leader or representative for his constituents in West Central Ohio, whether on the wrestling mat or in the committee room, Jim Jordan is strategic, scrappy.
Whether on the wrestling mat or the committee room, Jim Jordan is ready to pound his opposition into the ground. Why would you say that? Jim Jordan is ready to hold you down. Fucking Jesus. He's ready to pounce.
Tough and principled, he is a mentor, a worker, and above all, he is a fighter. And the American people know, we know, that Jim Jordan is a winner on behalf of the American people.
Yeah, none of those students ever raped him. It's so fucking grim.
Respect for this institution. As chairman of the Democratic Caucus, I am directed by the vote of that caucus to present for election to the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives the name of the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, the pride of Crown Heights, a representative from the state of New York.
Oh yeah, I don't think I pointed this out, by the way, but Jim Jordan isn't just a monster and a rapist. So to be clear, we're being hyperbolic here. It's not, he didn't personally rape those students that we know of. He like covered it up and ignored reports of the rape. Like he wasn't the rapist. He was more of a rape master, or like a rape steward, if you would, sort of a rape secretary, rape administrator. Yeah, coach of rape, perhaps. You know, like how a coach doesn't actually play the field, but like directs everything. Yeah, he was a true coach to his people. That's right. Rape accountant. Anyway, in addition to all of that, which is a lot, all of that is already a lot. In his entire time in the House of Representatives, he has not sponsored and won a single bill. He's never put forward a bill that is won. Like he is not just terrible, he's also just not an effective politician. Then why fear him? Because his effectiveness as a legislator might not necessarily mean he wouldn't be destructive as a House Speaker. It would mean that he would hold funding the government contingent on really bad votes. Basically, Jim Jordan will almost certainly say, oh, you want to fund the government? You want to keep the government shutdown from happening? Okay, sure, we'll go along with this, but only if you vote to ban all gay people. And then, like, that would be, like, the level of discourse. Yeah, he's an arsonist, basically. Like, he's not effective or smart, but he is destructive. It's also very possible that him becoming House leader would actually galvanize the American public even further against the GOP, so maybe in, like, a very destructive accelerationist way it might be beneficial, but... Scroll down to pressuring witnesses for Jim Jordan. He literally cried to witnesses and begged them not to come forward in tears. Holy shit, really? I'm not seeing the keywords here. Oh. Adam DiSabato, the brother of the first wrestler who came forward, said Jordan had begged him to contradict his brother's claims. Quote, Jim Jordan called me crying, groveling, on the 4th of July, begging me to go against my brother, DiSabato said. Begging me, crying for half an hour. That's the kind of cover-up that's going on here. Okay, so his strategy for being coach rapist was begging people to lie and contradict the testimony of their own siblings to cover up the rape that he had overseen. Yeah, that's the kind of guy we're dealing with here. Yeah, he's like a rape HR representative.
Wow. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, this is not the history we wanted to make here in the House. It's something that none of us imagined when we were sworn in to this office. We are here because the House has been thrown into chaos. We are here because this hallowed chamber has been led to a breaking point by two dangerous forces: extremism.
Isn't that witness tampering? I don't really know the legal details, but I think that if you oversee a bunch of rape and cover up for it, and then when the truth comes out, you start begging people to lie on the stand to contradict the testimony of the people who have been raped, I think that should be a crime. I don't know what crime exactly. Is it witness tampering? I don't know. I just know it's a moral crime. I think he should be in jail. I don't care. I think he should be.
And partisanship. The American people place their faith in us to tackle their most pressing issues: lowering costs, growing the middle class, and standing up to those set on delivering a national abortion ban. The choice before us is simple.
The Ohio State University sexual assault case is so bad even the Supreme Court is allowing the case to move forward. Wait, holy shit. It's so bad that even the current conservative-packed Supreme Court rebuffs the Ohio State University's attempt to thwart the suit. So, like, even with the 6 conservatives, and knowing that this ties in Jim Jordan, a Republican House rep, they're like, yeah, this is pretty bad. You got to go forward with it. Yet, what the fuck? Sheesh. 2019 report detailing investigative findings said Strauss had sexually abused at least 177 men, nearly all of whom were students, and that university staff who knew of the abuse failed to act. University staff. Who could this be referring to? Ohio, State told the Supreme Court in its appeal that allowing the lawsuits to proceed based on the Sixth Circuit ruling would mean, quote, there is essentially no limit on the stale claims that could be brought. No, don't follow the law. We could be sued an infinite number of times for the infinite harm we've committed. The University of Michigan in 2022 finalized a $500 million sentiment with more than 1,000 people who allege sexual assault by a former sports doctor. $250 million from UCLA. God damn. You'd think universities would really start taking this seriously with a legal precedent of losing hundreds of millions of dollars to, like, covering up one single guy who really wants to fondle, like, students, you know? Like, if you know for a fact that there is legal precedent where the university has been charged hundreds of millions in settlement, you really think there would be more of an impetus to shut these people down. Nah, sports. It's almost always like the sports people or something associated with the sports people. It's just a monstrous industry. Whatever. We're getting distracted. We're getting lost down the rabbit hole of how bad of a person Jim Jordan is.
Together on a bipartisan path forward, or take us over the cliff. Abandon the extremism that is preventing us from getting things done, or triple down on division and dysfunction. A vote today to make the architect of a nationwide abortion ban a vocal election denier and an insurrection insider to the Speaker of this House would be a terrible message to the country and our allies.
Yeah, Jim Jordan also voted for the insurrection to repeal the electoral count, and his main thing is banning all abortion. So, neat.
Mr. Speaker, it would send an even more troubling message to our enemies that the very people who would seek to undermine democracy are rewarded with positions of immense power. We're talking about someone who has spent his entire career trying to hold our country back, putting our national security in danger, attempting government shutdown after government shutdown, wasting taxpayer dollars on baseless investigations with dead ends, authoring the very bill that would ban abortion nationwide without exceptions, and inciting violence on this chamber. Even leaders of his own party have called him a legislative terrorist. He once said, quote, "I didn't come to Congress to make more laws." His words speak for themselves.
What?
When New Yorkers recovering from Hurricane Sandy...
Wait, he said that? What? I didn't come to Washington to do my job. What? That's you're in the legislative branch. That is the thing you do. That's your job. What?
Needed Congress to act, he said no. When wildfires ravaged the West, destroying homes and businesses, and those residents needed disaster assistance, he said no. When the Mississippi River floods devastated the South and communities across state lines needed Congress to act, he said no. When our veterans were suffering from disease and dying.
When students under his care were being sexually assaulted, and the investigators asked him if he had seen any evidence of this happening, he said no.
as a result of their service to our country, and Congress passed a bipartisan solution, he said no. When our ally in Ukraine looked to Congress for additional support to help defeat Putin, he said no. And just before Hamas's brutal terrorist attack on Israel,
It says right here that they're not going to mention the sexual abuse shit, and that's such a waste. That's such a fucking waste, dude.
he said no to fully funding military aid for our ally. This body is debating elevating a speaker nominee who has not passed a single bill in 16 years.
Incredible.
These are not the actions of someone interested in governing or bettering the lives of everyday Americans. This is nothing less than the rejection of the oath that we swore to uphold as duly elected members of this body. But on this side of the aisle and throughout this chamber, I'm convinced our oath still matters.
Incredible stuff. Hakeem Jeffries, obviously, like, I wonder why they're not having him do the speaking here. Are you not supposed to speak on your own behalf, I guess? Like, it's considered kind of crass to say, like, I am Hakeem Jeffries, I nominate myself, and here's all the reasons why I'm cool, or whatever. Yeah. I don't like this guy's speaking style very much. I feel like I've heard him speak before, and I've felt this way before. He reminds me a little bit... Does anyone else... Am I totally off base, or does anyone else feel like there's a tiny hint of Cuomo coming out here? Like, just a very slight... I don't know if it's like the inflection, or if it's like the way he talks. There's... You know what I mean?
He may just be the candidate with the most votes, but he is also the candidate
Just a little, not
with
a
the
huge
most
amount.
credibility. If the goal is to continue a 30-year march to hollow out our democratic institutions, weaken our democracy, and embolden extremists, there's a candidate for you.
It's the hairline. It might actually be the hairline.
Taking marching orders from a twice-impeached former president with more than 90 pending felony charges, then there is a candidate for you. The world is watching, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Our allies in Ukraine and Israel are watching and waiting. So let's have this vote, but let's be clear. A vote for the gentleman from Ohio is a vote to turn your back on national security. It's a vote to turn your back on a bipartisan path to fund the government and avoid shutdowns, something we can only do if we reject his...
Wow, kind of crazy how boring liberals are, huh? All right, moving on. Bacon votes for McCarthy, the first Republican not to vote for Jordan. Damn, it only took the 8th fucking Republican casting their vote to not vote for Jordan?
Bacon.
Bacon.
McCarthy. Bacon. McCarthy.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon? Bacon. Fox calling Bacon a dumbass. Ha!
Bacon. McCarthy.
Dumbass.
I thought it would be like muttered under the breath. Oh, God. Yeah, that was a hot mic. Oh, my God. Play it again. One more time.
Bacon. McCarthy.
Dumbass.
Bacon.
Oh, my Oh, fuck. Oh, goddamn. God damn it. Oh, my God. Yeah, he didn't just say that into the hot mic. He fucking declared that shit. He enunciated. Fuck. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sean. Jordan. Buck. Bouchon.
That just didn't vote. Okay.
Reamer. McCarthy.
Man, even this early on, it's pretty much neck and neck for Jordan and Jeffries.
Connolly. Jeffries.
They mad. He said, noted insurrectionist. I'm voting for Hakeem Jeffries. And the GOP got mad.
Zito. D'Esposito. Zelton.
What? Yeah, they're like... Ronald McDonald. What?
Diaz-Balart.
By this point, Jeffries is 8 points ahead. It's a fucking circus. Harris, for sure. Whom's to Zeldin? Just another person to vote for. Just another member of the House.
Scalise.
And in a row? 2 in a row? Yeah, you don't even have to be in the House to be voted for. Technically, you can vote for any US citizen. You can vote for anyone. Like you could vote for me. You that is allowed. You could do that.
Elsie. Garcia.
A Republican votes for someone named Garcia. Who? There's no one named Garcia in the House. Who? Is that a person? Is that a dog? It's just anyone named Garcia? Maybe? Who? Just someone? Just any Garcia. I'm voting for Garcia. And with this, with 5 GOP votes going to non-Jim Jordan candidates, at this point, Jim Jordan could not win this round. Can't they just abstain? They could.
Zeldin. Garbarino. Zeldin.
Samus Aran. Mario. Great. Jeffries votes for Jeffries. Considering the fact that this is already like an incomprehensible shit show, I genuinely wish, because this sounds stupid, and it is, but it could happen, Donald Trump would just bust open the double doors in the back and announce his own nomination, and he would probably get like half of the remaining votes from the GOP. Have him do that mid-vote, just as a dark horse, turnaround midway.
Jordan.
Jim Jordan votes for Jim Jordan.
Jordan.
Just
Virginia. Kiggins of Virginia. McCarthy.
the McCarthy votes are especially cucked. McCarthy has already said he's not running again. Hasn't Jordan already failed? Yeah, but they still have to collect all the votes.
La Lota. Zeldin.
McCarthy votes for Jordan to get some applause for it.
McCarthy. Jordan.
Unity. Cuck.
Jeffries.
Thanks, Pelosi. Why don't all the Dems simply vote for Garcia? Oh, yeah, true. Or this Lee Zeldin character. McCarthy blamed Jordan losing the vote on Democrats. Well, as we know, McCarthy will blame the Democrats for literally anything that happens, including stuff that he did directly.
Let's go back to how it got here. We wouldn't be here if every single Democrat didn't vote with 8 Republicans to shut this
Mad.
place down.
He's mad. He's sorry that you had the shortest term of any House Speaker ever, dipshit. Sorry. It is so crazy how this guy would still be House Speaker if he wasn't a complete bullshitter. Remember, right before the vote that was initiated by Matt Gaetz to kick him out, there were Democrat whips that were running around with videos of him on Fox blaming Democrats for the government shutdown. Like, even though Republicans objectively had been the obstructionist ones here, McCarthy was on Fox saying, like, yeah, Democrats fucked this up. And they were showing Dems videos of that to get them mad. If it wasn't for this guy being a fucking Weasley liar, he probably would still be a House Speaker.
That's it. No,
Republicans voted against Jim Jordan today on the floor, including 2 votes from somebody who's not even a member anymore.
let's go back to how it
Spectacular business. Fox News has already stopped airing live coverage of the House floor vote with Jim Jordan facing 13 no votes for Republicans. They stopped airing it? Literally, this image. Literally, this fucking image. Because it makes them look like clowns. Oh my god.
Waters. Jeffries.
I really wish they would call Jim Jordan a rapist more. Like, Jim Jordan is an insurrectionist, but holy shit, he's implicated in one of the biggest, like, university sexual scandals ever. You know? He's directly implicated, like, in an objective and obvious way. They should just call him a rapist more. Fuck it. Why not? Do it. Don't be a pussy.
That the total number, the tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 432, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 200 votes. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212 votes.
It's dangerous being a pussy in the room with Jim Jordan. Yeah, you really... Morally, I agree with you, but legally this could be taken for slander. Then call him like a rape lover. Call him the rape coach. Like, that's what we were doing.
The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 6 votes. Lee Zeldin of the state of New York has received 3. The Honorable Steve Scalise of the state of Louisiana has received 7. The Honorable Mike Garcia of the state of California has received 1. The Honorable Tom Emmer of the state of Minnesota has received 1. The Honorable Tom Cole of the state of Oklahoma has received 1. The Honorable Thomas Massey of the state of Kentucky has received 1.
Oh, did I miss the Garcia? I must have missed it. I was looking at chat.
No person having received a majority of the whole number of votes cast by surname, a speaker has not been elected. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the chair.
There's a way around that, I'm sure, Ben. Okay. Sorry, we got to the end of the good content. I don't know if I can say Aaron Rupar is like, great, but I do love his Twitter threads. Aaron Rupar was doing some weird fucking Zionist shit a little bit ago. No speaker? Yeah, it might turn out like the Kevin McCarthy shit, where they have like 15 votes and eventually they manage to persuade everyone to vote for Jim Jordan. I don't know whether or not they're actually going to get Jim Jordan in or whether they're going to have to switch to somebody else, you know? Keep in mind that the government shutdown is looming, so whatever happens, it's got to happen quick. Are they going to try again today? Do they do multiple votes in one day? They do, don't they? Hold on. So when's the next one? Speaker vote, round 2. When's round 2? House expected to move to second vote after Jordan fails to win Speaker's gavel. When? When? Whatever. How mad is Fox News over this?
Jeffries.
This is the Fox live stream, which is still going even though the vote's done. Do they have coverage out in it yet? No. Take a guess at how mad they are. Fox News and Sean Hannity have been caught conspiring to make Jim Jordan speaker, sending emails to Republican representatives that feel a lot like extortion. Hello, Stephanie from The Hannity Show with Fox News. Sources tell Hannity and Representative XXX is not supporting Jim Jordan for speaker. Can you please let me know if this is accurate? And if true, Hannity would like to know why, during a war breaking out between Israel and Hamas, yeah, right, with the war in Ukraine, the wide open borders, with a budget that's unfinished, why would your representative be against Jim Jordan for speaker? Please let us know when your representative plans on opening the People's House so work can be done. Lastly, are there any conditions your representative will choose to work with Democrats in the process like the new speaker? Da, da, da. Yeah. This is pretty standard. This isn't extortionate. This is pretty standard. Things get pretty nasty behind the scenes. Do you think Dems might get some concessions? I don't think so. I just think that Republicans are going to keep smashing their head against a wall. When is government shutdown? Isn't it in like early November? Hold on. They passed the 45-day stop from October 1st, so it would be November 14th, right? Thereabouts? Yeah, about there. Yeah, about there. Do you think any Republicans will flip to Hakeem Jeffries? No. That'd be pretty extraordinary. I don't think so. I didn't know you use Blender, Vosh. I don't use it well. Is there a limit to how long / how many times they can try to get a speaker? Nope. Can go on forever. Some Republican leaders have threatened to do deals with Dems if the radicals don't stop. Yeah, but that might just be rhetoric. I'm pretty sure that if any Republicans actually switched over and voted for Hakeem Jeffries, they would be like fucking jihaded by right-wing militants like that day. You know? Like, MAGA Republicans have been insanely militant against rhinos for a long time now, but a Republican voting for Hakeem Jeffries would be what in their mind like an unrivaled betrayal. Like that would be so much worse than anything. Like that'd be so bad, you know. Will they vote present, which could lower the threshold for Jeffries? I mean, that's a little more likely, but Who's the funniest legal possibility for speaker? Well, basically anyone can be speaker, so just think of the funniest person you can imagine, basically. Getting Jeffries in would be incredibly funny, but it's not going to happen. It's Jeb's turn. Yeah. Apparently some Democrat, I don't even know who. Maybe this is fake news. I don't care. Apparently some Democrats suggested offhandedly bringing in George W. Bush as a unity House Speaker, which would be so funny. That actually wouldn't be that bad. Bush is like to the left of basically every Republican now. Like modern Republicans have shifted so far to the right that Bush actually would be in the center between the GOP and the Dems, which is pretty fucking sad, actually. It's not going to happen, but, you know, it's just funny. Someone suggested it. Bush sweep. There we go. Unanimously elected speaker. Finally, it's his turn. Jeb. 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 Did you see discussing film was being based again? Disney refusing to pay their actors fairly has caused the release date of Deadpool 3 to be in true risk. Yeah, I saw this. Discussing film usually does a pretty good job of framing the conflict. Normally, the first thing that people jump to whenever something bad happens because of a strike is like, oh, the strikers are at fault. But the strike is only happening because the company has done something wrong. So, you know. Big nope to that movie. Yeah, I don't really like Deadpool. I do like that they have Wolverine in his classic costume, though. I guess that's cool. That Wolverine costume is lame AF. Dude, that's the costume. That's the Wolverine costume. The studios have suspended negotiations with SAG. Didn't we cover this? We'll go over it later. We got enough to talk about today. In 40 minutes, we're going to have 2 guests on from Progressive Victory because there's something important to talk about. But before then, will the Polish election discussion be a YouTube segment? I've done 2 segments on the Polish election. One of them was last night. Wait, bad media news? What? The Fire Nation has arrived. Meet Fire Lord Ozai, General Iroh, Princess Azula, and Commander Zhao in Avatar: The Last Airbender coming in 2024. Oh, the live action? Is this bad? Looks pretty good to me? Looks AI generated. I agree that it's over processed, but in terms of the costumes, Iroh isn't fat enough. Yeah, I guess they could make him fatter. We could give him more of a belly. Yes, the first guy is Dr. Han. Yes, he is the meme guy. Yes. Do you really trust Netflix with the live ATLA show? I mean, apparently the makers of the original show are working on this one, so I have a little bit more faith, but like, I don't know. I don't expect it to be super good. Wait, they left? They quit because they hated it. Oh, never mind. Well, never mind. Don't worry about it. Oh, there you go. I think it looks pretty good though. I like how Ozai looks. Yeah. It's too dark visually. Yeah, they always make this mistake when they do like animated adaptations. They make everything look all like dark and gloomy to try to make it look more realistic because they want to preserve the ostentatious designs, but the ostentatious designs look weird in like regular lighting, so they have to like compensate for the ostentatious designs by dimming the lights, basically. I have not seen the One Piece live adaptation. Golden Kamuy live action new trailer. Golden Kamuy could actually make a pretty good live action story, I feel. He looks good. That could be pretty good. Do you think the live action will be as gay as the manga and anime? They better keep all of it in, all the bathhouse scenes. Eric Adams is using AI for phone calls. What? New York City Mayor Eric Adams uses AI to make robocalls in languages he doesn't speak. Thanks to AI tools, New York City Mayor Eric Adams has sent a barrage of robocalls to residents in languages he doesn't speak. Isn't this literally illegal? Didn't they make robocalls illegal? Thousands of robocalls in Spanish, more than 250 in Yiddish, 160 in Mandarin, 89 in Cantonese, 23 in Haitian Creole. Does he think that people who speak Creole are going to be fooled into believing that he speaks, like that they would pick up the phone and think they're talking to Eric, or like they're hearing a personal call to them from the mayor of New York City in Creole? Yeah, he's just like me, for real. Wait, is it in his voice? Yeah, isn't it? Isn't that... Yeah, look, it's triggered pushback over how ethical it is for Adams to portray himself to potential voters as someone who speaks their native language when he actually doesn't. I think these are meant to be his voice in a different language. He should have one that does the gay voice. Yeah, true. That would be ethical, actually. Read Adams' statement in paragraph 5. Adams was also eager to talk about the robocalls his office had already made. I was excited when I had my voice go over the phone to a person who spoke Mandarin and they were able to hear their mayor speak to them in their language. He said in a press conference, "People stop me on the street all the time and they say, 'I didn't know you speak Mandarin.'" He's like a child. Again, every single time I read anything about Mayor Eric Adams, I'm just reminded of that tweet where it's like, liberals after Adams wins the mayorship. Finally, a sensible, moderate Democrat who will bring reason and logic that radical leftists could never understand. And every single day since that election, Eric Adams saying leprechauns are real and I want to eat them. He's fucking crazy. When asked by a reporter about potentially misleading people to think he can speak multiple languages, Adams defended himself by saying it was a way to reach residents who speak languages other than English. Then, first of all, robocalls are unethical in and of themselves. But second of all, why not just, I don't know, publish information on a website in different languages? How does he even know what language to do to which house? Does he have a database on like, oh, this household speaks Creole? What? Census data? That's very specific census data. Or he could learn the language. I don't fault him for not learning every language spoken in New York City. That's probably every language.
When a person was shot doors from my house, I realized how important...
This is 12 years ago. State Senator Eric Adams. What?
...important my crusade is of removing illegal handguns off the streets of New York. Hi, I'm New York State Senator Eric Adams, And for 22 years, I wore a bulletproof vest and stood on the street corners and protected children and families in the city of New York. I'm asking you to join me in this crusade of removing illegal handguns off our streets and
he was a cop.
Of our homes. Please come and join me inside my house as I show you how simple items such as bamboo paper can be an indicator of marijuana use, or a cut of straw can be an indicator of using cocaine. I will show you how to search a room to ensure that you remove illegal handguns and other contraband from your home. What I would like to show here is to empower parents on how to search a room inside their home. It's imperative that you should know what's inside your household. And no one can state that you can't search a room in your own home. You write the Constitution. There are no First Amendment rights inside your household. It is your obligation and responsibility not only to protect the child that may be using an illegal drug or carrying an illegal gun, but you also have to protect the members of the household, their younger brothers and younger sisters, and the other elder members of the household. So by periodically sending a message to your
I cannot believe you New York City fucks let this guy become your mayor. I can't believe you with your fucking 2% voter turnout rate let this guy win the Dem primary. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Actually, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Actual dumb fucks. Too busy with your yee Tims? What are you, New York? Wow, boots with the wait. What were the Ninja Turtles saying in that one clip where people were saying they were sounding like New Yorkers? Pizza? Yankee with no brim? That's what you were doing instead of voting? Fucking losers. Fucking New York City is a city of it's a city. Fucking city. Not even a city. Not even real. Cowabunga, dude. That's what New Yorkers are always saying. Please, if you hadn't read the story of him faking the picture of his dead friend. What?
Home, that there are no rooms off limits. You don't believe in locked doors. Your house is open to inspection by your house and the members of your house. The message is you expect your children to do what's right, but you always have to inspect what you expect. And that's the key to providing some preventive safety. So if you come to a room like this, you can start out, I always recommend to start out in a periodic fashion so you'll be used to going through the room to look at the various items in the room. You can look in the jewelry.
Dude, he's advocating fucking parental stop and frisk. Mayor Eric Adams has often talked about a wrinkled photo of a fallen police officer he kept in his wallet. Now that photo and the story have been called into question. What? But the weathered photo of Officer Venable had not actually been spent decades in the mayor's wallet. It had been created by employees in the mayor's office in the days after Mr. Adams claimed to have been carrying it in his wallet. The employees were instructed to create a photo of Officer Venable according to a person familiar with the request. A picture of the officer was found on Google. It was printed in black and white and made to look worn as if the mayor had been carrying it for some time, including by splashing some coffee on it. What the fuck? Many of his stories are difficult to verify. At times he's been caught stretching the truth. The mayor, for example, said he was vegan before being forced to admit he eats fish. He said that a story he told in 2019 commencement address about intimidating a neighbor was true, but acknowledged it did not happen to him. More recently, Mr. Adams claims to have sold his stake in a one-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn, were again contradicted by recent financial disclosure forms that shows he still retains ownership. What the fuck is going on in New York City? They're too busy showing off their yee Tims at the bodegas to fucking vote in the Democratic primary. So all the boomer losers in the suburbs outside of New York fucking voted in Adams, and you guys are all with the Tims, no brims. Dumbasses. Adams is the most hated New York City mayor, by the way. Quickly earning another title as the most disliked mayor in America. Maybe you should have disliked him before he won the primary. Okay, moving on.
Jury box. A jury box of this nature, maybe a simple jury box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun could be hidden.
Look at this innocuous box. Now, this box may seem to be an opaque and solid rectangular prism. However, the purpose of a box is actually to conceal objects. If you lift the lid at the top of the box, what might you find? Fissilable uranium? A firearm? Cocaine? Who knows?
Caliber weapon could be hidden inside a jewelry box. Look at the various colognes and perfumes and photos and pictures. You should always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations,
knapsack?
Look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book.
Leprechauns? Does he have pulls out a leprechaun? Been looking for one of these. Get out of here, you scamp. No, 2 leprechauns.
Something simple as a crack pipe, a used crack pipe. Could he have found it
in their fucking high school bag? Yeah, dude.
On the street? That's quite possible. But this is a discussion piece where you should start speaking with him to find out what is he doing with it and the whole use of drugs. This invokes conversation.
Sorry, guys. I don't have the crack pipe. I just have this. It's not even sized properly right now. What is it fucking...
Look at picture frames and behind them, cameras. Try to determine what's taking.
Cameras? Did he just say what? Does he think your child might be operating some like snuff pornography fucking ring out of their bed? What the fuck? What? Cameras? Who would put hidden cameras in their own room? Dennis from It's Always Sunny, I guess.
Taking place. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets.
Stray bullets? Just random, just chilling. Yeah, that's where I keep mine. I keep all of my bullets, you know, like right here behind the little pig. You know, we've got Kaiman from Dorohedoro, fucking, you know, Leo Fotia crammed up his ass. Yeah, I would like. This is literally how Resident Evil houses are decorated. Oh yeah, you think this guy's just played a fuck ton of Resident Evil? So he's like, you might find ammo hidden in small containers around the room. Now, the door that leads to your child's room might be locked with a complicated locking mechanism that requires you to assemble stone pieces, which when combined form the appearance of a hydra. Now, you might have to look around for a bit for these key pieces and rotate them for them to fit together. If you see green herbs, keep an eye out for red herbs.
What does that mean to find bullet? Does it mean your child is carrying a gun? No. Where there's smoke, there's possible fire.
What?
Where there's a bullet, there's possibly a gun. You should engage in the conversation and find out what are they doing with the item, and this empowers the parent.
Where did they keep the bullets in the gun? These breakable crates with yellow paint all over them, they look innocent enough, but if you strike them with a kick or with the back of your hand, you might find within them weapons, ammunition, perhaps even a Molotov cocktail.
Look at all the items inside the room and feel around and see what's the possibility. Something simple as a baby doll. Could be just a baby doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs.
New Yorkers let this guy become their mayor. I can't. You guys are so beneath me. You are so beneath me. I grew up in Los Angeles thinking, man, I wish I lived in a city with bodegas, but holy shit. New Yorkers were too busy asking for bacon, egg, and cheese, the Aki way, sorry. Yeah, they were too... That's...
Run your hands over the pillows and see if you feel anything that's unusual. Like a pillow like this where the button is a perfect invitation to hide something. And I felt something bumpy. I would reach in and see what it is. This was hidden inside.
Yes! Yes! A full fucking pistol! Yes! Yes! Hell yes!
A gun. Maybe something that you'll think that can't be hidden there, but it can. And what happens not only when the person who is carrying this illegal gun is in possession of it, but also a child that comes into the room and plays on the bed, they find this gun. Let me tell you what a child would do. A child would take this gun, and because the trigger pull is so hard, they normally take the gun and they point it in their direction.
Oh my god! It's just a Tim and Eric skit. Holy shit! It's just fucking Tim and Eric skit. Oh my god! Small children are biologically designed to put the barrel of the gun in their mouth and pull a trigger. Holy shit! I can't believe this is real.
To pull down on it. So many gun accidents take place merely because a child discovers a gun in the room and believes it's a toy and they play with the gun. Just look and see what's inside your bookcases. It could be more than just books. Perfect place to hide cocaine or other illegal substance inside the room. My message to you, you have an obligation to protect your home. The First Amendment does not apply to the right of parents to go through their home.
This is unironically the funniest video that I've ever seen in my life.
To remove contraband.
This is the worst escape room I've ever seen. Holy shit, yes. Escape room idea, okay? You're trapped in like a late 90s recreation of a teenager's room with Mayor Eric Adams, and you have to follow his instructions. You have to work with him to get out of the room. Holy shit. The New Yorkers are mad. Some of the New Yorkers are like, we're better than Los Angeles. I don't know. LA didn't fucking vote for Mayor Eric Adams. So I'm saying, you know, I don't even know who the mayor of LA is right now. Oh my God. New York Democrats during the primary vote.
I'll do the talking. Hey, I'm super flat.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
It was just that bit extended over the entire day. They were too busy. New York Dems were too busy bragging about their public transportation before plugging their nose, putting on a hazmat suit, and wading down into their fucking subway system. Sorry. I'm so happy right now. Let's tone that down. Wow, is that true? 500 dead after IDF bombs got... I didn't know that. I had suspected the possibility that might be the case after the past 400 people linking the exact same fucking segment. But thank you for letting me know. Stop linking. God. That person's been spamming that link nonstop. Is it this person? Is it... Wait, I haven't checked if it's this. You have linked the same thing 5 times in a row. You're taking a month break. You were here when I said earlier, not a month, 7 days. I am merciful. Peace be with you. Okay. Let me see. Russia's lower house of parliament, the State Duma, approved revoking the ratification of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty in the first 3 readings on Tuesday. The vote was passed by 412-0 with no abstentions. Cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the treaty that just bans nukes. I guess the United States isn't really one to talk on this because we never ratified the fucking treaty. See? Light yellow, signed but not ratified. This is the treaty that stops testing. Yeah. This is why nuclear testing stopped. Because it's bad. You know, honestly, given the sorry state of the Russian military, it might be funny to see them do domestic nuclear testing and for all of their nukes to like fail or not go off or something, and they have to keep being like, you know. I don't think that'll actually happen, but it would be funny. You're in the latest NF KRZ video. Is that true? Am I in here in a good capacity? Oh, or am I here in a bad capacity?
I feel like this image is sprinkled with just a little bit of Islamophobia on top. This is also sort of fear-mongering in a sense. What is a global day of jihad? What are you talking about? And look, once again, I'm not defending terrorist groups. They're bad. They're really bad, okay? However, when you're saying this, it kind of makes it feel like every Muslim is sort of in on this and every Muslim is like out there trying to get Jewish people now. And yes, there are governments in the world and groups in the world that act actively anti-Semitic. However, a global day of jihad, that is just not happening.
This has been widely made fun of. That's me. Which is good. Like, obviously, we're posing for a Vogue shot while promoting insane fear-mongering over shit like Global Day of Jihad, or the idea that anyone would just randomly target this woman for being a Jew based on what? Like, Jew, religion, ethnicity, culture, like how, you know, like what? Vibes? And also the fact that it's a Vogue shot and this woman is clearly a millionaire.
So yeah, I do think that there's like a...
Nice. I love you too. Oh no, he's a vouch. Actually, I'm an NFKRZ. Thank you. We have 15 minutes. Is that enough time? Oh, dude, real? The sissification of white men from foreign land to foreign land. When are you gonna admit he's been pretty openly queerphobic for a while now? Dude, is this a real fucking thumb? One second. Foreign man, foreign land. Yep. Dude, what the fuck? The NIG cell epidemic. Hmm. Remember, everyone who dislikes me is a reactionary. Every single time. Literally every time, with no exceptions. Thank you. I heard the new video is just straight up queerphobia. I mean, again, like, a lot of the times, whenever I get into disagreements, because his thing was also, like, aligning with, like, it wasn't black separatist, but it was like that, again, like that weird, like, white Haiti shit, if I remember correctly. I remember his video being totally incomprehensible. Like, so often it's just reactionaries who just aren't white, you know? Weird. Watch it? No. It's 55 minutes long, and that guy's video was, like, unwatchable. It was, like, an incoherent, like, almost AI mishmash of memes that barely made any sense. There was, like, no coherent through line with the video. But imagine the content. If we go over that, it's going to be like 5 hours long. We don't have time today. Maybe later, okay? Maybe later. We have other things to talk about right now. For instance, Israel has reaffirmed its commitment to strategic targeting of Hamas military bases and military bases alone by killing 500 people after airstriking a hospital in Gaza. So that's not good. Yeah, they they killed a lot of people with this one. 500 dead in a single strike is insane. Directly on the hospital. And again, please keep in mind, there are no accidental strikes from Israel. They're using modern targeted munitions. You don't accidentally hit anything. Gaza is only a couple miles wide. They're not striking targets from 100 miles away. They know exactly where they're hitting. Hamas may be responsible. So that's what the IDF said. Now, my understanding is that this was a strike done by the IDF. We know for a fact that the IDF loves dead Palestinians. They can't come unless they're thinking of dead Palestinians. When I woke up this morning, I heard about the attack in the hospital. 500 dead, thousands injured. Horrific. And then I took a shower. And then when I got out of the shower, I looked at Twitter again to see people were saying it might have been a Hamas rocket that had misfired and struck ammunition under the hospital. Now, wouldn't that be really convenient for the IDF? If it wasn't them, but if this horrific crime against humanity was actually those dumb Hamas jihadists not only striking it with a rocket of their own, but having massive ammunition stores that blew up the hospital. Because in that case, not only would it be Hamas incompetence, it would also be that Hamas had a bunch of ammunition stored under a hospital, a reaffirmation of their horrific willingness to use human shields, which admittedly they do. So that would be a nice 2-in-1 for the IDF, wouldn't it? Hamas, incompetent and monstrous. However, I really don't think that's the case. One of the reasons I don't think that's the case is because, as Al Jazeera reports, after the attack, the IDF said they had warned people to evacuate that hospital as well as other hospitals, leaving aside the fact that they could be lying, the fact that evacuating a hospital is almost impossible because what kind of people are in hospitals? The elderly and the sick and the injured, obviously. If you move them, they often die. So it wouldn't make very much sense for the IDF to race out to say, hey, we warned them after Hamas blew them up, right? Like, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Again, this is one of those like ongoing investigation things, but in all of the evidence that I've seen, it seems really obvious that the IDF did it and that they know it looks horrible and that they are like pivoting to try to like shift the blame, you know? People have geolocated the fallen missile. It looks pretty conclusive. I can't really analyze this data, I'm afraid. I don't really have the ability to... I'm not enough of an expert on this subject for my word on this to be worthwhile. This is the missile.
عن إصابات في صفوف الإسرائيليين، ونحن نشير إلى أن هذه المدينة هي الأكثر تعرضا للصواريخ منذ بداية هذه الحرب. عمدة المدينة كانت تحدث قبل أيام عن أكثر من 1000 صاروخ طال هذه المدينة وأكثر من 170 صاروخا سقط بالفعل في داخلها.
Yeah, I can't make anything of this. I'm very sorry. I don't have the ability to like make anything of this. Ahead of her Israel trip, Governor Hochul acknowledged the strike reportedly killing 500 people at Gaza hospital. Quote, Israel has a right to defend itself against Hamas. Okay, literally, from what I'm seeing, it seems like every news org is saying Israel did it, and Israel itself, along with a bunch of pro-Israeli people, are defending them doing it, and there's just a very small number of dedicated internet trolls who are going, oh, what if actually it was Hamas? Again, I don't know for sure, and there is a fog of war present over there, and like, we might not like super duper ultra no in the sense like the IDF might deny it, but it seems like overwhelmingly the indication is that it was in fact done by the IDF. 500 people dead in an instant. An IDF spokesperson said Al Jazeera lied and Al Jazeera deleted the original tweet for what it's worth. Yeah, but now there are new tweets. Okay, so they're saying that Al Jazeera lied in this particular person's statement pertaining to the evacuation of the Al Ali Arab Baptist Hospital in Gaza. So they're contesting that statement, but not the strike broadly. This video shows it couldn't have been Hamas. I don't know. We're not going to compare like missile sounds. IDF is saying they don't know if they did it. Of course the IDF did it. Dude, I'm telling you, okay? The IDF is hopped up and bloodthirsty and desperate to kill people, and then they fucking blow up a hospital. And then now they're like clamoring, and they're like, holy shit, that actually looks kind of bad, huh? So now they're doing the Russia thing of like strategic disinformation, where a bunch of like different sources are saying different things. There was an IDF spokesperson who tweeted they did it, but later deleted a tweet. Ew. Worth noting, there hasn't been any third-party confirmation of this, just the word of Hamas and the IDF. Well, yeah, that's the point. Well, wait, hold on. It's not just the word of Hamas and the IDF. That's absolutely not true. There are videos of the event, which is like a fairly objective bit of information to pull from it. There's the fact that there were multiple statements made, like defending the attack from the IDF's perspective, and not just from the IDF, but like from associates and other people there. It's not just like a he said, she said at all. Al Jazeera confirmed it 2 hours ago in the most recent talk in it, said that a UN school was struck as well. Here we go. We got to go with Al Jazeera on this. There's no, there like the IDF is literally the least trustworthy institution to trust on this. Like we have no reason to believe the IDF are like should be believed. Why is this just a GIF? I want a video. Okay, so yeah, Al Jazeera is still running strong on the reporting that Israel killed 500 in a hospital attack. In the Al Ali hospital. The Israeli embassy in Jordan was attacked? Don't trust IDF, but don't trust Al Jazeera either. No, you can trust Al Jazeera more than IDF. Guys, the IDF like assassinates journalists and then lies about it in the face of international investigation conclusively determining that they were responsible. What are the people in chat both sidesing? Al Jazeera's source is still Hamas here, correct? The Gaza Health Ministry. Isn't the Gaza Health Ministry the hospital that got struck? That got struck? The Gaza Health Ministry is just reporting the number of casualties. This isn't Hamas. Does Hamas run the hospitals? A UN-run school housing refugees also struck. Wouldn't that report be from the UN? I don't think this is saying that literally all of the information is like... The health ministry is part of the Hamas cabinet, if I recall correctly. The Hamas cabinet is the official government of Gaza, but I don't think it's responsible to say then that any institution that is officially under their purview is just Hamas saying it. That's like kind of a weird... Here's proof Israel deleted the video from their tweet. You can see edit history? Breaking IDF spokesperson. From the analysis of the operational systems of the IDF, an enemy rocket barrage was carried out towards Israel, which passed through the vicinity of the hospital when it was hit. According to intel information from several sources we have, the Islamic Jihad terrorist organization is responsible for the failed shooting that hit the hospital. But then they removed the video. Was the video like bullshit? The video didn't show what they thought it showed? That's weird. The videos are old, they're literally lying. The videos are not in sync, they are from different times and dates. This is misleading and can lead to misinformation. So we know for a fact that the Israel Twitter account immediately put out like just random bullshit videos in an effort to push their narrative. That discredits them quite a lot, don't you think? Like immediate video edits from different times, different bullshit, you know, like, look, there's electricity. Yeah, it's a pretty bad fake. Electricity is cut off to Gaza. Why are there all these lights? This video, verified by the New York Times, is the moment a munition struck the hospital in Gaza City, causing an explosion that the Gazan Health Ministry has said killed hundreds. Okay, so that video has been verified by the New York Times. So we're going to have to assume that's true, which means that the fact that Israel immediately tweeted out those videos that were total bullshit really, really, really leans negatively on their credibility. Not good. Setting off an exchange of blame. No. IDF says it was caused by a rocket fired by a Palestinian armed group that malfunctioned after launching. Okay, are we really to believe that from the get-go? Do we seriously believe that Hamas has rockets which are capable of exploding that big? From what missile platform? If they had missiles that big, why weren't they using them against Israel? They actually do? 500 dead in a hospital? For whatever it's worth, doesn't Hamas get weapons from Iran? Yeah, but this isn't consistent with the type of weapons that we know for a fact are attributed to them. It's possible the hospital had munitions in it that exploded, but that's so fucking convenient for Israel. That's so convenient for the IDF, and it doesn't line up with the information we have. We know that people associated with the IDF are like frantically deleting tweets, that they're like posting like misinformation videos, and then it's like, you know, we know the IDF strikes civilian targets all the time, and then it's like, oh, just conveniently, you know, this hospital happened to blow up, and they had munitions in there, and the dumb Hamas people like fucking like misfired their rocket or whatever. I guess it's still dark over there, and it'll probably be a while before we're able to get independent verification. But my like gut reading on this is that this is the IDF like getting a little bit too bloodthirsty for their own good, and then desperately trying to cover up their trail, like badly too. Like, oh, our rocket misfired, and it happened to land directly on this hospital and also set off the ammunition stores that we didn't know were there. Oh, no, Substance Soda, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the fact that, like, even if this was a Hamas misfire or whatever, it doesn't change the fact that Israel is still being monstrous here overall. However, like, I don't think we can give up the game on this kind of misinformation, right? Like, we have to be skeptical of these narratives. Yeah, given the fact that it is basically IDF standard practice to bomb civilian targets and then to say, oh yeah, that was a Hamas base. They've been doing that for decades. Like it's just really difficult to trust them. Here's a video of the barrage plus the explosion at the hospital. All right, guys, are you ready for me to pretend like I know anything about munitions and look at a video of an explosion and decide whether or not I think it would have been from a Hamas or Israeli rocket? We ready for me to pretend I know stuff? So this person is claiming that this was being done by Hamas. Okay, that was too far away for me to see.
يا الله يا الله يا الله مستشفى انجليزي مستشفى انجليزي
That does not look or sound like any Hamas rocket I have ever seen in any video footage ever. But like, whatever. There were no secondary explosions. There was no ammo in that building. Oh yeah, that's a good point. If it was an ammo dump that got struck, like, yeah, if the narrative is that an ammo dump got struck, like, all of this was like one big boom, right? That was one boom. Like, I've seen ammo depots get targeted from the Ukraine war, and there's usually more like layering to the explosion. MSF International were horrified by the recent Israeli bombing of Ali Arab Hospital in Gaza City, which was treating patients and hosting displaced Gazans. Okay, so they're going with the idea that Israel did this. Failed rocket launch is looking more and more like the culprit in the attack in the hospital. The video shows the impact a few moments after an interception. The building burning in the video is in the hospital. Note the distinctive shape and solar panels in the rooftops. So the argument they're making then is that it wasn't a failed Hamas rocket. It was like an interception that struck them. Would the interception have struck them that quickly? Wait, is the claim then that the interception literally struck them within like 3 or 4 seconds after? So if the claim, it may also be a malfunction, a very convenient one. Like, because if people are claiming it's an interception, I don't even think that trajectory works. It looks like this salvo of rockets is being fired forward, like in the foreground. But then I don't think with gravity would have even allowed them enough time. Like, even assuming Israel somehow intercepted one of the early rockets, I guess like the very first ones, and then it would have like tunk, like, shit takes a while to fall, you know? They go up faster than they go down because they're being fired up. I don't know. And does Israel really have the ability to intercept rockets over Gaza that quickly? I know that they have the Iron Dome, and the Iron Dome is very impressive and all, but interception within like 10 seconds? Doesn't it take time to relay all the data from the position, trajectory, and such of the rocket? They have laser now? Lasers. A good point has been made. This looks more like rocket motor failure than interception. Looking closer at the video, I agree. A plum can be seen coming off the rocket a second before the aerial explosion. A plum? Plums are food, silly. Oh God, we're doing the thing right now. We're doing the like internet investigation thing. My default. We've wandered into the weeds. Here, Israel is declaring it a misfire, not an interception. Al Jazeera broadcast documented the moment that the Islamic Jihad launched a rocket which misfired and hit a hospital in Gaza, killing hundreds. So are we giving up on the narrative that there was an ammo depot there? Are we really saying that one single rocket warhead could cause an explosion of that size? I know that, like, it's not like Hamas is only using little baby weapons, but that was a big boom. Like, I don't know the yield of any individual rocket, but it looked like they were being fired in a salvo, which makes me think that it was probably, like, standardized military equipment and not, like, some bottle rocket, like, home-built shit. Like, has a Hamas rocket ever killed 500 Israelis in one day? No. So, like, despite them having these weapons, they've never come even close to killing that many people. But then, like, they misfire and it happens to land perfectly on a hospital and kill that many people just like that. I don't know, dude. That's pretty wacky. Hamas does not have access to those munitions. They just don't. Well, they could have gotten it from Iran, but like, where did this strike then? So there was a gigantic salvo of missiles, right? The ones we saw with the like alleged misfire. Where were those missiles even headed? It's the single largest amount of casualties from a single strike in this region going back decades. The idea of that just happening on fucking accident is insane. Like, the largest single death count of any single strike. And by the way, it was an oopsie rock from Hamas that happened to perfectly dead center hit the hospital. And also the IDF lies like all the time and loves striking civilian targets. It's not impossible, I guess. Here's what a US JDAM strike looks like. It is identical to the strike by Israel.
Bombs away.
Yep, that's a big boom. It does look pretty similar. I guess another thing that really makes me feel like Israel is lying, dude, this might be like so fucking out of pocket here. I understand that I'm not like an expert on this or whatever, but I really strongly feel this way. Another thing that makes me think this is straight cap bussin' FR for real FR. Let me get that video again. Here we go. Is that okay? Tell me if I'm wrong here. I could be totally wrong. But if the missile failed, why did it sound like it came in that quickly? Are you telling me that's terminal velocity? Like that's a rocket falling? I know that the rocket would, even if it failed, it would still, because it has fins, it would stabilize. Failure does not equal free fall. So you're no, because the narrative is that the there was a primary explosion in the sky that like knocked out the propulsion. This thing sounds like it's coming in at full fucking speed. Like, this sounds like a functioning motor or like engine or whatever, you know? Like, that hit really quickly. that was like not it falling. Can't we just wait for confirmation of what happened? Because no, if there's lying, you have to know. You can't. This is the problem. There's a fog of war over shit like this that happens, and you can't just not comment on stuff when there's a fog of war, because then the liars are the only ones who will talk. If you let everything in the fog of war be dictated by the only people willing to speak in the fog of war, you cede the entire conversation to liars. I acknowledge that I don't know for a fact what happened. Nobody does. I'm just saying that based on the video and the evidence and the weird contradictory statements and the fact that people in the IDF appear to be simultaneously celebrating and denying the strike, and people have been deleting videos and tweets and stuff. I don't know. It seems to me like someone at the IDF got super fucking bloodthirsty. And then and now they're like fucking panic sweat pulling back. I don't know. I'm begging you to watch the second video in the thread all the way through, for fuck's sake. This one? But it's boring. What? Wait. That doesn't make any sense? So wait, they're saying this one random rocket went awry. You see it going awry right here, see? And then up here, there's an initial explosion. And I guess the argument is that this would have been an explosion of the fuel that propels it. Right? Like, this would have knocked out its movement. and then we don't see anything anymore because there's no longer a missile. Like there's no longer an engine, so it's just a warhead now. The motor fell apart here, and then like 3 seconds later, it strikes directly beneath it with very little lateral movement. And also it came down quickly enough to make the noise that it did in the video that was closer. Like it popped up here and then went right down with the speed to make that noise. Again, dog, I don't know, man. Fuck. I thought it would be fun to play detective, but in reality, I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Maybe like the way the motor went out kind of like pushed the momentum down. Like we didn't see all of it and it sparked out in a way that sort of forced it down really quickly. But like, fuck, that's so convenient, dude. Do you have any idea how much we have to stretch to make this work? Like, here's one explanation. Israel, which we know strikes civilian targets with military munitions, struck a civilian target with military munitions. And then the other one is like, Hamas had military munitions that was given to them by Iran, which they do have. And then they fired a salvo, but then one of the missiles from the salvo went awry, and then it broke right over the hospital, and then somehow it went dark for a second, but then the explosion happened right beneath it. Like, maybe? Actually, hold on. This is 2 videos spliced together. I just realized this is 2 videos spliced together. Right when that thing at the top left pops in. See? They zoom in into the full black right here, and then we pull out, and now we see the hospital explosion. We can't get anything from this video. This is just disinfo. The only reason it would be spliced together like this is to provide a misleading suggestion of where the missile was relative to the hospital. We have literally no idea like where that was or where that happened. Or what the time frame was. It's from a live stream, you can watch it. Is it? And then right at the moment where a cut would happen, where the person pulls out, this appears at the top left. It's not a cut. It just looks like a cut. And they were live streaming it. Like, this is right where the obvious cut would be. But then they just happen to pull out, like, right here. And the explosion down there happens legit, like, 3 seconds after it sparks out here. This describes the timing of everything. If there's any better evidence that Israel lied about the hospital airstrike, it's this. The first reports of the explosion occurred around 7:20 p.m. local time. Every video of the IDF or the Israeli government is sharing showed a blast that occurred between 7:59 and 8. They almost certainly waited for Hamas or the PIJ to start firing rockets, pulled it from live video, and then claimed it was an unfortunate coincidence that this same rocket salvo we're now seeing caused the hospital explosion, even though it's from 30 minutes forward. I want it captured here. Israel deleted the video and have republished the tweet without the video they previously utilized as definite proof of the supposed PIJ rocket salvo being fired that hit the hospital. Now the claim is being made intentionally vague so it can be from any time. The Israeli PM's office didn't get the message about how clearly inconsistent the video of the supposed, quote, rocket salvo hitting the hospital is, though, and republished the exact same video for a Hebrew-speaking audience. And the Israeli PM's office has deleted their publishing of the video as well. Guess this narrative didn't work out so well. They'll try again tomorrow. Vosh, this is misinfo. The new footage from the live stream happened at the exact same time the explosion happened. What? Then why'd Israel post the fake videos? Okay, no, we're calling it right here. Wait, the video timestamp is wrong. It's 50 minutes after the bombing. Yeah, we just saw that. Yeah, those videos are fake. All right, I'm cutting it here. I'm cutting it here. I'm cutting it right here. I'm cutting it right here. My official ruling is that I have no way of definitely knowing what happened here. We will probably get more info soon. However, I genuinely believe that there is value in going over this live, if for no other reason than because it shows how much Israel, frankly, benefits from the fog of war that they have created. Israel cut power and internet to Gaza deliberately, in large part, to stem the flow of information that could contradict them when they lie about their war crimes. I, by default, will disbelieve anything Israel says for the same reason I will disbelieve anything Russia says with regards to what's happening on the front. We know for a fact that they lie constantly. And what seems to have happened right now is fully in line with what the IDF has done historically. However, the world is complicated, so I guess it's possible that some rockets solve. I don't know. So we'll probably find out more. But yeah, my default assumption here is that Israel is lying. And that it's bad to kill innocent people. That's also an opinion that I have. 500 dead in an instant. The surgery room collapsed during surgeries. Yeah. 800 dead now. You only have that opinion because it's mainstream. Hating Israel? Hating Israel is pretty mainstream. That's true. I wonder how long it'll take before more information comes out on this. Hold on. Israel hospital strike. See, even Reuters is referring to it. Oh, sorry. Reuters is referring to it as an Israeli airstrike as of 40 minutes ago. I genuinely don't think that, like, there's much disagreement on Israel being responsible for this outside of, like, a desperate cobbled together effort to go, like, here, look at the pixels. Actually, it's Hamas. Like, the people who I've seen say it was Israel are, like every org, you know, that are commenting on this. And the people who are saying it's Hamas are, like, people on Twitter that are looking at the pixels, I guess. So I don't know. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Vosh, I am a 14J Army vet. The interception, then warhead hitting the ground is completely plausible to me. Warheads are aerodynamic. They don't have a functional terminal velocity. What? The speed with which that thing came in was not falling from a few thousand feet above speed. That sounded like a full-on, like, jet coming in. Nothing can go that fast from the fall. Never mind. No, never mind. Please let me out. We're being rude to our guests. We're 20 minutes late on bringing our guests over. Vosh, my uncle works at Blizzard/Activism. Hamas fired that rocket. Thank you. Good, it's settled then. It's settled then. Vosh, it literally says right there, the source for the strike allegation are Gaza authorities, not Reuters' assessment. Yes, but if Reuters trusted that assessment enough to rebroadcast it authoritatively, then that's an indication of the reliability of the info. Obviously, the source of the information will be Gaza. It happened in Gaza. But the fact that Reuters is taking that information and if you're in Gaza and you just walk up to, like, call Reuters and you're like, hey, IDF just killed 5 billion people or whatever, they're not going to just report it saying Israel killed 5 billion people. Like, it's an indication of the perceived authenticity of the information. Okay. Israel's military said it was still ironing out all the details in the reports of the strikes in both the school and the hospital. Bro, this is such bullshit. What do you mean ironing out the details? Not to mention the school that was struck.
Like, what details? Did you strike it or not? Your munitions are incredibly accurate. You're not blind firing artillery. It's not World War II. You don't just aim a cannon in the general direction of the strip. You have little fucking cameras telling you what you're hitting. Okay, guys. Biden arrives in Israel tomorrow. Okay? Let's all calm down. It's canceled? Why? Where? God damn it! Palestinian Authority leader Abbas said to cancel meeting with Biden tomorrow after Gaza hospital blast. He canceled his participation in a meeting scheduled tomorrow with U.S. President Joe Biden and other Middle East leaders. No! A U.S. politician meeting with the Palestinian Authority would have been a pretty big deal. He's still going, though? Yeah, but he's not going to meet with Palestinian Authority. Like, he's still going to Israel, yeah, but he's not... Yeah, okay, so it wasn't all canceled. The senior official said Abbas is withdrawing to protest an alleged Israeli airstrike on a hospital in Gaza that Hamas health officials say has killed more than 500 people. The IDF so far has not commented on the blast, saying it needs more time to investigate if it was indeed an IDF airstrike. What do you mean? Your munitions are targeted. What do you mean? That means it was. This mean no. Yeah, they need time to spin the story. Moving on. Get me out of this segment. Get me out. Okay, get me out of this segment, please. Please get me out. Oh my God, please let me be free. I'm getting a headache. Unironically, fuck. Okay, hold on. The segment is done. Close all these tabs. Excuse me. Okay, lads. We've talked about a lot of wacky stuff today. We've talked about hundreds of innocent people dying and war misinformation. We also talked about how all Republicans are rapists. And you might think, wow, the world's pretty shit. And it is. But did you know you can do something about it? Did you know it's possible for you to make a positive change? Let me introduce you to... I'm clicking the start voice call button now. 25 minutes late.
Hello.
Sam!
Hello.
Hello.
The fine people of Progressive Victory. Hello.
Well, Vosh, it's so good to talk to you again. How are you doing?
Well, I survived my trip back from DC, so that's good. All right, we are hardcore. This is definitely because of my prior plans on how we were going to structure the segment, and not because I'm angry at chat after an hour of arguing about Israel. We are going to hit the Zoomer brains hard and fast today. Tell me.
I love it.
What are you both here to talk about?
Sam, do you want to do the honors?
Sure. So, just giving a quick intro here, I think you all have seen what we've done with Progressive Victory in the past, working with Vosh's community. We work on elections. We put you all to work doing real politics out there in the world and making a big impact. And we have a big opportunity that we're really excited to tell you about.
This is so good. This is so good. I'm so psyched about this one.
Yeah, it's a candidate in Alabama, of all places. A candidate named Sylvia Swain, and potentially the first trans office holder in Alabama history.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Yeah.
So this is a situation where they had, I believe, 7 people in a runoff for basically a state house race, and no one made enough. No one got enough votes to go to the final. So it's a runoff between 2 of them, and whoever wins this is basically going to win the seat. So this is really straightforward, Vosh. Whoever shows up, whoever makes more phone calls is the candidate that's going to win this thing. So we have a really limited mission objective. I believe it's only 10,000 calls we are trying to make in the next 2 weeks. 10,000 calls. We're going to try to get through that list twice. And it is absolutely true. If your community shows up, comes in phone banks with us, a literal trans candidate would have your community to thank for breaking that barrier and being the first person to be an elected representative in Alabama.
Folks,
so that would be amazing.
We've got a clean objective here. 10,000 calls, that's easy shit, okay? If every single person watching this right now did exactly 1 call, that would be more than 80% of the way there, okay? We're talking big margins that we can fill. Now, this is in the terms of what we normally talk about when it comes to PV and our electoral involvement. This is relatively low stakes. Usually we talk federal, this is state. State, Alabama House. Makes it no less important. Many state houses are very, very narrowly controlled by Republicans. A Democrat majority in them would not only save the people of that state from the despotic, horrific laws that Republicans want to pass, it would also give us the opportunity to do cool things. Remember how I'm going to mess this up again, Michigan? In Michigan, they get a slim lead with the Democrats, and they pass Marxism-Leninism, the good kind, the kind that I like, the mimetically good kind. Having a majority in a state house, huge deal, all right? Now, this election is taking place when? It's Minnesota. Minnesota, I got it wrong again. I'll never get this right.
October 24th.
Runoff is on the 24th.
24th, we got 1 week. Where do the fine people in my community go to do this
So
phone bank?
we are going to drop a link in the chat. Sam, do you have the one that we're using?
Yes, it's progress.win/Vosh-Swain. The candidate's name is Sylvia Swain, Swaine. And I believe that our associates at PV are dropping that in the chat right now.
I just want to say this. You know, I think sometimes when you're talking to trans candidates, I mean, look, we all want the barriers broken and trans people to have a say in public policy, right? All of us want that. But I want to tell your audience, like, Sylvia Swain is not just a trans person. She's also got amazing policies, right? She's got a lot of experience with unionization. She's really huge on social justice. She wants to expand Medicaid. As someone from this region of the country, right next door in Mississippi, I can tell you expanding Medicaid is absolutely critical for the poorest people that need it the most. So she's just top to bottom the exact kind of progressive left-wing candidate we want, and I think it would be a huge step forward. And Vosh, let me just say this. You know, sometimes people criticize your community for not doing enough in politics to show up and get real world stuff done. And I'm telling you, y'all show up, you help us make 10,000 calls, get through that call sheet once, twice, 3 times. This really could be a candidate your entire community could point towards and say, we did that. We helped win that. And that is a win you could all be proud
26.
of. I really hope you'll show up.
This girl's a goddamn Zoomer. She's younger than me.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Huh.
Yes, and we've done it before. I mean, this is not, we know that this is possible. We did this earlier this year in January with a candidate in a special election in Virginia, that his election, done by your community through PV, single-handedly stopped a 15-week abortion ban from going into effect in law this year in Virginia.
That's right.
Yeah, I think so. In addition to our policies being good, it's also worth pointing out that, like, speaking sort of pure politics here, real politic. First of all, being that transphobia is still like the primary political motivator for the GOP, exposure to trans people is a good way to make people pro-trans. The more visibility and exposure trans people have broadly on both a state and federal level, the more likely it is that people will just be, you know, more chill about them. Like, it just helps. It does. It's every piece of data we have on exposure to minority groups indicates that it leads to people having more progressive views on said minority groups. Additionally,
trans people in particular, because they're such a hot topic right now, seem to be a pretty strong catalyst for national engagement. I have heard very little from the Alabama state legislature, probably because most people write Alabama off, But as we've seen in Tennessee, the sort of radical firebrand Democrat state House members have done a lot to drive national engagement in a way that would not have been possible with more liberal, milquetoast, non-representative Democrat politicians. So I say we go for it. I'm ready. I'm hyped up. People in chat, you all love your computers. You watch me with a computer. Maybe you watch me on a phone. Use the phone for some good. Can non-Americans phone bank?
Yeah, you can show up 100%.
Yes,
nice.
You can.
Fantastic. So everyone, progress.win/Vosh-Swain, SWAYNE, like the League of Legends champion, I think. Go there, take a look, and do good. All right, I'm gonna post this as a video, and maybe we'll do like a little thing on the little mini thing. This is 2 weeks. Okay, we got 2 weeks. Wait, no, 1 week, right? 24th?
Yes. 1 week, yeah.
1 week. So this is like a really clear, obvious indication of, and I see how many calls get done too. So if it ends up being 9,999 or less, I'm gonna be really upset with you guys. Okay, no OKBV for a month, for 2 months, for 5 months. All right, I feel hyped up. Thank you both very much.
Let's do it. Yeah, just one more thing, Vosh.
Yeah.
I mean, something I have seen, because I grew up in this part of the country, and the Democratic Party structurally does not invest in the South. And don't get me wrong, I ran for Congress in Massachusetts, and our poor people here need help in serious ways. But the poorest people in America in the South really, really, really need help. And it is the shame of the Democratic Party, which, look, let's be honest. I've met these guys. They go to Harvard. They have amazing education. They've never been in the South. Like, they're not from this area of the country. It's why Stacey Abrams had to tank for the entire team and build infrastructure there, because the Democratic Party was just utterly uninterested in building stuff in the Deep South that we actually need. So this, I cannot say it enough. The reason I work with places like Progressive Victory is we see these needs. We understand people have to show up for this, and it is a completely underserved area by the Democratic Party. And it's not an exaggeration to say, if you don't show up, I don't know who will. So we're counting on you. The country's counting on you, and Alabama's counting on you.
Chat.
If you get involved now, you can stick around, because we're going to be organizing for the primaries in early 2024 as well, and we're getting started with that right now. So
yeah, we got a lot to do. A lot to do, folks. Listen, okay, she's cool because I'm looking right now at a Teen Vogue article where she's been interviewed. Okay, Teen Vogue, yeah, they post cool stuff. I think I see article screenshots from them. Yeah, I'm not teen anymore, but
you read every issue. Don't lie, Vosh. I know.
Cool. Oh, yeah, laying on the bed on my stomach with my heels kicking behind me. All right, we got to keep it short for the Zoomers. We will mobilize not 10,000, not 20,000, but 1 million calls.
I love it. I love it.
All right, thanks, Vosh.
Thank you.
Talk soon.
And we will talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I feel like that was structured about as well as possibly could be with regards to getting people to call. Guys, final call. I'm so committed to talking and not listening. I'm throwing my earbuds right now. I'm throwing them. I'm tossing them. Listen up, okay? Here's the problem with you personally. It's that you're miserable. You're wretched. You're a disgusting creature. You're slimy. Why are you slimy, okay? It's because your body exudes the negativity that resides within your heart. And that negativity is because you follow, maybe a little too much, a little too obsessively, you follow a politics streamer, you listen to all the horrible things going on in the world, and then you jerk off. What are you doing about it? Be a participant in positive change, okay? Do something good that you can think, be a part of the solution. You'll feel good, and your heart will radiate happiness, and all of the gremlin juice will slow off of your body like rain off roof tiles, okay? And you will be clean and beautiful. And then when you jerk off, it won't be, in spite of the gremlin, juice. It'll be fine, So yeah, progress.win/Vosh-Swain. You see how it's spelled? It's right there, dumbass. Also, I'll put it in the link. Go and phone bank. Yes, and as Progressive Victory in chat points out, there is training before the phone banking. It's easy.
Every person who's ever emailed me about the phone banking or the canvassing has told me that they enjoyed doing it. It will be fun. You will have fun, and you will have a warm feeling in your heart whenever you hear about anything good which was a product of your behavior. Rack up the dub, folks. Get out there. Go, 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 go. Nice. I'm afraid of human contact. How do I overcome this? Exposure therapy. Okay. Well done, lads. I have to say, I'm very proud of you guys. We actually only lost about 1,500 people during that. I know that sounds sarcastic, but 1,500 people is not a lot. To go from the Israeli strike on the hospital to political advocacy, that's actually a very minor drop-off. Normally, it would be double that, so that's pretty good. Yeah, 1,500 Mossad agents who left after they realized they couldn't do anything more. Do I personally have to make 10,000 phone calls? Yes. Please explain what phone banking is. Phone banking is when you are given some training on what you need to do, and the thing that you need to do is you are given a list of numbers to call, and then you call those numbers, and you say, hey, you should vote transgenders. Bye, and then you hang up. Listen, the training will be given there. It is good. It is good and fine, all right? Will they really be able to give all of us training? Yep, because it's done in big group Discord calls, okay? They've done a lot of good over there in Progressive Victory. I need you guys to get involved. Text banking exists too, right? Yes. Hey, listen, if you have questions, who do you go and ask? Click on progress.win/Vosh-Swain, and it will give you the information that you need, okay? We've done a lot of good before. How much time commitment is expected? You got questions. Not that much time.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for...
Wow. Sorry. Yeah, they have a logged video on the Progressive Victory YouTube channel called PV22 Phone Bank Training. This was back for the midterms. You'll see it all if you go there. I'm not Progressive Victory. I'm just their cheerleader, okay? Go and go. Go, go, go. I'm going to keep promoting this every time, okay? It's not that hard. Just do it. Just do it. Just go. Yeah. Okay. Have you done it? Phone banking? With Progressive Victory specifically? No. Generally, yes. Yeah, it looks like The Guardian is also saying that Israel did this. The Israeli military reportedly said an initial investigation suggested the explosion was caused by a failed Hamas rocket launch before saying it was the result of a Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket barrage. Islamic Jihad denied the Israeli allegation, and the scale of the blast appeared to be outside the militant group's capabilities. Yee. Right. I'm going to read donations, and I've got a good number of them to read as well. Yes. Simric, thank you for the $5. Vosh, it's hard to stare into the face of war to take a break to appreciate what's good in life. Today marks my 4-year anniversary of my weight loss. Congratulations. Well done. That's fantastic. You know what would help you lose even more weight? Doing phone banking, because the talking is calories. Thank you. Robert Jensen, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I just don't believe it's Hamas. I just don't. I do believe we can make a big difference with Progressive Victory phone banking, though. Melicello with a tier 2 sub. Big fan. Thanks for doing what you do. Thank you. What I do being, of course, in this case, promoting Progressive Victory. No, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. That's going to add so much time onto every donation read. Dr. A7MADQ8, thank you for the $10. Many such cases. Mud Marauder, thank you for the tier 2 sub. Really appreciate that. Been watching for 4 years. Appreciate your novel takes on socio-political topics, engaging content, and willingness to engage with opposing opinions. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. My goodness. You know who I appreciate? Yeah? Big lick. He's purring very loud. Yeah. How does he and Ruben get along? They get along great, actually. They play pretty often. Usually their play involves Ruben charging into him like a missile, and then Artemy pinning him down and licking his fur until Ruben wiggles out and does it all over again. All right. Big fat boy. Fat boy. Okay. Lundy the Elder, no worries at all, friend. You never have to donate if you don't want to. Thank you for the kind words. Appalachian Anarchist, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. Does he get along with the naked one? Artemy and Pigeon don't interact that much, actually. Yeah, different politics, sorry. Fascist and tanky. Well, I guess that's not really different politics. Cataclysm, thank you so much for the 12 tier 1 subs. That's really kind of you. Today's 1 year since I first saw one of your videos. You helped me find the courage to try phone banking and then canvassing. TY for all your work. Guys, that was donated before we had the PV people on. Sam and Brianna. That's just a quinky dink. Thank you. I know. Isn't phone banking and canvassing so good? Doesn't it help? Is good? Makes you less greasy. Thank you very much. CIA plant. Yeah. Vosh doing the gay voice. I've been doing the gay voice a lot more lately. I think it's because of the glasses. I also got a nice necklace while I was at the Oddities Expo. I think it's quite pretty. Here, hold on. I'll adjust the thing. It's fossilized bone, I think. Not quite. Why's my back sore today? Thank you, Cataclysm. Turbo Saxophonic, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate that. When I was a HIMARS gunner, it was always a big deal when we got to shoot and attack them. I was there when we shot one to scare North Korea. Wild shit, man. That's waking up in your barracks. Today's the day. Get to shoot a giant missile over over North Korea or whatever. God, that's funny. Zachary Riley, thanks the $2. Jordan I99 and John Paul Queller, thank you for the $5 both. Really appreciate that. Still Alive, thank you for the $3. Really appreciate that as well. Ilonita Express and Lumberjack N, thank you for the 5 both. Vosh, just get a Ruger SR9 and customize it. You're nerd. Ruger SR9. Not really my style. It's a pretty gun, but not really my style. If anything, if there's any if I ever wanted like a real fucking like showboat pistol to customize, it would be like a Luger or something. Like one of those old pistols, you know? I don't know what the closest equivalent to a modern Luger would be. Is there such thing as a modern Luger? I don't like them. Ugh.
Maybe not a Luger. What's the gun that has the magazine in front of the trigger? What is that? Is that a Mauser? Yeah, that's a Mauser. Like the broom handle. Yeah. I would get one of those. My father had a replication one of these that he did some work with. Show it? The Mauser? You've seen it before. Probably in like Resident Evil 4. It's this. If there was ever an old gun that I would buy, that I would like have just because I think it's cool design-wise, it'd be this. They're very cool. They have this really intricate like hammer mechanism. If you have your hand back here when it fires, you're in trouble, is the point, basically. I heard they're reliable. Yeah, they're good pistols for their time. You know, I mean, by today's standards, obviously, they're complete fucking dog shit, you know? I Googled Mauser C96 custom and this came up. What a fucking monstrosity. Good lord. Okay. Why Nazi pistols? These were manufactured way before the Nazis. Please explain canvassing. How many times have you said that? Can you stop spamming? What the fuck? Yeah, you've been spamming. Take a break. Please explain why people ban shit. Nazis had Lugers. Yeah, when I think Nazi pistol, I think of the Luger pistol, not the Mauser. The Mauser is old. Like, old. The Luger is what I associate with the Nazis. That's this one. Though I'm pretty sure this was also made before the Nazis. Let me see. Luger P08. Yeah, it was produced all the way back in the 19th century, 1898. But this is it kept being produced up until 49, so this would have been the one they would have used. I think of the Walther for Nazis. Yeah, the P38. They're also a very pretty gun. But I think that's just because I like how older guns look, because they're a lot less like blocky. I don't know. I would consider this like a nice pistol to own, except it's literally a Nazi pistol. What Soviet World War II pistol? There we go. That's an old pistol that I can own. They had a Nagant. Oh yeah, they had a revolver back then. The Soviets were rootin' tootin' pointin' shootin'. The Makarov pistol? The Makarov pistol is so space age. Look at this thing. Does this not look like a fucking Jetsons pistol? The way they have like the sort of curve in on the shape. Walther PPK clone. Yeah, I remember reading this isn't the best pistol, or maybe I'm wrong. Looks kind of odd. I could be wrong on that. It's a decent pistol. Yeah. Of course, Americans win the World War II pistol game. Obviously. Because we had the fucking 1911. That easily wins the World War II pistol game. Like, no, not even close. The 1911 is still widely used and celebrated, and it's a gigantic brick of a gun compared to the relatively small Soviet Nazi standard firearms. Yeah, still used to this day. Look at that. You can find guns that look like 1911s in any gun shop in the world, basically. They are all over the place. Replications of them, you know, still being produced. No shit, Posadas? That's cool. That's a high power, though? This? I just Googled 1911. Hold on. That's a Russian 1911 knockoff. Okay, well, here's the original 1911, but like there's a million modern 1911s. The way you can tell you're looking at a 1911 or something built like a 1911 is it has a big rectangular grip that's a little bit uncomfortably long. The grip plate on it is literally just like a flat rectangle. It has a lateral trigger, like the trigger is like a solid block that gets pulled in. And also it's big. Also, micro 1911s are legitimately the stupidest looking guns in the fucking world, because trying to miniaturize all of these design features. There's the Kimber Micro. Look at that. How do you look at that? I have the larger version of this. I have two of the larger versions of this, actually. The full-size 5 and 6 inch pistols, respectively. But when you microize it, it's so dumb looking. It's so silly. Fuck, I got distracted again. Romans would say that's civilized, not small. Thoughts on the Laugo alien sights don't move when firing? Oh, man. This is the most competition pistol I've ever seen. What the fuck? Competition pistols are cool because all of them cost $5,000 and they're bad at everything except being accurate. Like, everything is sacrificed for pure accuracy. And as a consequence of that, if you look up competition pistols, they look insane. The MPA DS9 DL Steel Challenge pistol. I would own this. It purely because it's psychotic, you know? And very accurate. God, look at that. This one looks kind of nice. Actually, if you removed the gigantic optic on this, don't you think this would look like really sleek, actually? Yeah, this is like a gamer pistol. This is like you have your gamer chair and your gamer wireless earbuds, and you pull out the GAT, and it's this, you know? Okay, I'm getting so distracted. I want to end the stream. God damn it. Lumberjack Ent and Elenita Express, thank you for the 5 both. Really appreciate that. Squid and Pookie, thank you for the 5 both. I do not like bullpups. Oh, someone last stream was talking about the Mauser C96 as well. Soaked on left, you'd think you'd know what the stream times are by now. Oh, are you shilling to get me to host you? Maybe I will. Still alive, thank you for the 5. Sean, thank you for the 10. Why is Russia calling for ceasefire in Gaza? Because it allows them to posture against Israel. Jerry, thank you for the $20. Really appreciate that. I actually traveled to Romania, and there was a whole lot of corruption and a lack of rebuilding, period, moving from communism to capitalism because of Russian tendrils trying to rebuild a USSR league and never them on team. Yeah, also, shock therapy probably didn't work that well for them, I feel. Jason here, thank you for the tier 3 sub. Really appreciate that. Noxamillion, thank you for the 5. Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Really appreciate that. Simric, thank you for the $20. Really appreciate that as well. Sometimes it's hard to stare in the face of evil without any good news. And then there's a video link to Good News for U.S. Citizens 2023, Green Card for Parents of U.S. Citizens, U.S. Immigration. I'd have to look into an article on this. I can't really speak on this specifically. Jazzy Wubber, thank you for the $20. When I was doing my exchange in East Germany 2019, the family who was hosting me wouldn't shut up about how the Muslim refugees were ruining the country. Nice. I wouldn't be able to bite my tongue. Big Cheese Wheel, thank you for the 5. Anguish, thank you for the $20. Really appreciate that. J-Lord and Koopa Shell 10, thank you for the tier 1 subs. Both really appreciate that. Eagle, thank you for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs. Really appreciate that. I'll take a look into it, Eagle. E-Exploration, thank you for the $5. Nice try, but not right now. Maybe an OKBV time. War Bad, thanks to the tier 1 sub. Fully agree. Clark the Clerk, thank you for the $3. Elenita Express, thank you for the 5. H. Jason, thank you for the 5 as well. Benjamin Gilbert Lift, thank you for the very kind dono last stream of $100. It's funny how Obama's biggest accomplishment ended up being how he turned Biden from a racist neoliberal in 2005 to the progressive classical liberal he is now. Yeah, I might have to hold back on compliments towards Biden for a bit. Really need to see how this all plays out, you know? But yeah, it is funny how much more progressive Biden is than Obama. Zoth, thanks to the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that. Carson and Peters, thanks to the 5. I'll give it a look. Kirby, thank you for the $10. I'll give that video a look as well. A lot of video links from 5 days ago. Jerry, thanks to the $10. This is freaking disgusting. Peter. Chat, do you hear the humming too when Vosh speaks? Does anyone hear distortion when I speak? If so, it means I need to adjust my mic settings. No? Sorry, Smacker2, it's just you. Apophis210, thank you for the very kind 5 Australian. Still alive, thank you for the 5. Did I really not read donuts 5 days ago? Sock, Spleen, Josh Woods, and Super Stingray, thank you for the $5 all. Really appreciate that. Trans Matt Walsh, Ash Fox, and Bit Grease, thank you for the tier 1 subs. OS Crane and Damon Abernathy, thank you for the 5 both. Very kind of you. I Lizzie and What Is Cool, thanks to the tier 1 subs. Zachary Riley and Alexander the Resurrection, thank you for the 2. Watif, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. Cosmic Willow, thank you for the tier 2 sub. Very kind of you. Raviolupe and Atheist Jewish Messiah, thank you for the 5 both. Also very kind of you. Love it when people are kind to me, especially monetarily, but also emotionally. Build a Dog, thank you for the tier 3 sub. Really appreciate that. Nice. Benjamin Gilbert Lift, thank you for the $10. Kirby, thank you for the $10 as well. DMG Halt, thank you for the very kind tier 4 sub. Hello, I play a lot of games on Steam, and seeing a fellow gamer participate in politics is awesome. I'm a longtime RTS gamer, Age of Empires 2, over 15,000 hours. Holy shit, 15K hours in Age of Empires 2. I assume you're playing the remaster now, not the original? I'm guessing? Whew! That's crazy. God damn. I've never even beaten max AI difficulty in that game. Queen Slut and Cathartic Arrest, thank you for the $5 both. Really appreciate that. Saw a story about taking race off the census. Scientists said there's nothing biological about race. Surely biology controls melanin production. Can you explain what he meant? Yeah, scientists don't really refer to race as a biological category because it's useless and arbitrary. What we describe as racial genetic traits are this incredibly vague generalized cluster of socially ascertained characteristics that have very little to do with any actual genetic differentiation. There will be 2 white people who look the same race that have a fuck ton of genetic differences between them, and a white and a black person who have basically none, because the only genetic differences you're looking at are like melanin production and maybe like, I don't know, like nose shape or whatever. But like, if that's the case, you might as well be asking on a census, can you please give us your skin tone hex code and your nose width? Because that's a more honest question, right? Like asking what your race is, you don't know the underlying genetics. It's like, yeah, get on this census, like write down the, the such and such. Vosh, do not endorse taking race off the census. It's super important data for redistricting and measuring economic inequality. Yeah, well, I'm talking about like it's scientific uselessness. Race is very useful sociologically, because even if race doesn't mean jack shit biologically, people still distinguish and discriminate based on perceived racial characteristics. When we ask people on the census what their race is, we're not like really asking them to do a self-biology test. We're asking them, like socially speaking, what their race is. A good example of this being that people who are half black and half white are almost universally referred to as black. Obama is considered black, and everyone agrees on this, but he's half white, So if we're talking biologically, like you'd think he's dead center, but he's not dead center when it comes to sociological taxonomy. Obviously, people categorize him as black. So it's important to understand race is a social construct, but that does not mean it's non-existent. Obama looks black, though. Yeah, but is what a person looks like biology? Like, oh, he looks like his gene clusters, or in terms of the genetics, it's 50-50, black and white, right? You know, but appearance-wise, it's like the one drop rule thing, you know? And there are black people who would say that Obama looks more white to them than he does black. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. There are black people who are like dark black, who treat light-skinned black people like they're basically just white. So, you know, that's like, again, it's totally arbitrary. 9,000 man, thank you for the $10. I'm ashamed of TJ Kirk. He's been proclaiming he doesn't care about the Israel-Palestine conflict. He even made jokes about nuking Palestine. Him and Paul Zigo had messed up takes about Ukraine. I haven't checked in on them in a while. I think I'll be talking with them both soon, though, so maybe we'll have a chance to talk about that. We'll see. That'd be unfortunate. Maximus, 1975, thank you for the very kind $20. Vosh, see Polish election results. I've done 2 segments on the Polish election results. The Christian Nationalist Piss Party lost its majority yesterday. I know. We talked about it. Thank you for the $20. It's very exciting news. Zealot, thank you for the 1 Australian. Panacea Pan, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Major Screens 75, thank you for the tier 4 sub. Been watching since mid-2020, was even able to get a girlfriend with the help of your advice. Yes. Just wanted to send my favorite streamer some support. Thank you. And congratulations. I'm really, really happy to hear that. You're welcome. Thank you, really. That's awesome. Soveball with the $5. One major benefit Attackams has is stretching Russian supply lines. The further behind Russian lines Ukraine can hit, the further away supply depots must be placed. Yeah, I was talking about that. It makes a huge difference in terms of like maintaining the ability for them to hold out there. Trianon, thank you for the $10. I was one of those people who thought Yamato from One Piece didn't identify as a man until I saw the bath pic you retweeted. That's strong evidence he's a man. Yeah, it's another argument in favor of you guys reading One Piece. Again, I don't endorse the anime. I endorse the manga. They finally got to the anime adaptation of the end of the Wano arc, and there are 2 highly visible trans characters in One Piece. And at the end, I guess to reaffirm all of that, they go to a bathhouse. No freaking spoiling. Anyone who doesn't want spoilers, close your eyes right now. You get right now, okay? For those of you who don't really care that much, at the end, in the segregated Japanese bathhouse, they have all the men, including Yamato back here, who identifies as a guy, and all the women, including, I forget her name, but she's canonically a trans woman, not even a little bit ambiguously coded as such. They just flat out say it, in their respective bathhouses. I think that's neat. Okiku, thank you. Carrot, my beloved? Yes. There are many good characters. Pronouns, one of the funny thing is, despite One Piece having such like obvious trans characters as main characters too, not side characters, one of the funny things is that even like the reactionary right can't really complain about it that much, because going up against One Piece is like cultural suicide. One Piece is so monolithically popular everywhere that doing this whole like One Piece has gone woke, fuck One Piece, fuck Oda, like why? Like they can't do it. Like why would you do that? Like you cannot position yourself opposite One Piece. With like the world is One Piece. You can't, you know? Like think about it. You guys hear about people freaking out about woke media and basically everything, like every TV show, every movie, you hear about it, but you don't hear about it in One Piece. Even though One Piece literally flat out just has trans characters just shown right there, like objectively trans, you know? The most they can do is cope and pretend the characters aren't trans, which is like massive cope. They're not coded trans, and they're not implied to be trans. They're stated trans, and it's a part of the narrative. The trans woman literally has a flashback, and during the flashback, they're like, "Oh, weren't you a man back then?" And the woman is like, "This one's heart is a woman," or something like that, and she's in the woman's bathhouse. And then for Yamato, they're like, "Hey, Yamato, you identify as a man. However, you have giant milkers. Can you explain this?" And Yamato's like, Yeah, I'm a guy with giant milkers, obviously. And people are like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The math checks out. Thank you. There's no like coding here. It's it's extremely clear. Yeah, they never attack shows that are perfectly received for being woke. They only attack the ones that stumble on it because they don't want to go after the strong targets, so to speak. Antifa Private, thanks to $5. I do want to research the Japanese communists. Yeah, I have heard lots of good things about the Japanese Communist Party. That they're like largely based on student groups, and that they've been very active, and that they're real communists. They're not like weirdo tankies or whatever. Sake, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Really appreciate that. Why can't we just create fake recreations or religious sites? We already have a fake Noah's Ark. Why can't we have Moses Land? We can fake all that stuff. I want Shinto shrines all around America. I've been to Tokyo, and they're beautiful. And Sake with the additional 5 tier 1 subs. Straight up insane. What is this? Yeah, I saw this. Jack Hainsworth sculpted my goddamn head. Look at that. It's me. I'm a Mazovian. What's the Disco Elysium? What's the Disco Elysium, Marx? Mazovian economist? Krasmazov, yeah. I need to replay Disco Elysium one of these days. I need to go like a full druggy route. I did, obviously, like most people, my first route, I was straight edge the entire time. Because the nanosecond the game started, I identified the main character as a cinnamon roll, and I wanted to protect him and make him and everyone happy. Kim Kitsuragi and him together forever, friends. So I didn't let him have any alcohol or drugs. Maybe I need to go a full like electrochemistry playthrough the next time. Olympians, thank you for the $5. Watch this video. No. Sorry, it takes more than watch this video to get me to watch a video. Ah, fuck, I feel bad. I'll do it. I shouldn't, though. 2 minutes? Trump orders Republicans not support Israel or send weapons. I'll go over this in like a segment. Vosh, you weak. If I watched every video I was told to in a donation, this stream would never have any segments produced from it. All right, folks, I love you all very much. You're all beautiful people. Listen up, you goddamn fucking motherfucking piece of shit. Listen up, you stupid fucking whores, okay? You need to phone bank for progressive victory. You will phone bank. You will get the trans rep in the Alabama State House. You will make my community look good with more than 10,000 phone calls, okay? You will do it. There will be more phone calls than there are individuals in the district voting for her. All right? You are going to vote. You are going to call people to vote multiple times. Every Alabaman, 20 calls, 20 phone calls every Alabaman. You will be calling dead phone lines. You will be calling restaurants. You will call and you will hear from the other end, "Hello, Papa John's, how can I take your order?" And you will say, "Vote for this fucking bitch, or I swear to God, I will not order your pizza." All right? That's what you're going to do. Good job. Good job, team. You should use autofocus. I can't, unfortunately. It leads to shuddering. Maybe I need a better lens. I'll see what I can do. All right, goodbye. Congrats on 1,100 streams, Vosh. Sake, thanks to 521 subs. Really? Well, it's not the stream VOD counter isn't a perfect indication because there are streams that have been removed a few times for like copyright or whatever. But it's pretty close. Probably removed 10 in total in the entire time I've been doing this. So maybe, we're in the ballpark. Still alive. Unfortunately, I don't play games with my friends. I haven't played games with friends in so long. It's just, it's a habit I fell out of that I always kind of regretted not getting back into. But, All right. I'm going to send you guys over somewhere, and I don't know where to send you. Who should I host? No, really, who should I host? I see the H3 podcast is streaming. Is it? Are they? No. Chris Ray Gun? Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to host Chris Ray Gun. I like Chris Ray Gun. I like CRG. All right, go on over there. He's playing Halo Infinite, okay? Go on over there and don't bother him about politics. Unless you can get him to phone bank by going to progress.win/Vosh-Wayne. We need more than 10K calls, motherfuckers. We have 1 week! Where's the Chris Ray Gun button? Don't think I have a Chris Ray Gun button. I guess I'll have to type it in myself. Chris Ray Gun. Host, Twitch. Chris Ray Gun.